Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexi Odds here, and it is Wednesday. So we're doing a Wow Wednesday for today on the first day of training camp. And yeah, it seemed like it went really well. The facilities are highly marked by Darko and other people from the interviews yesterday. And he said that they had a very swift start to training camp. That the guys came in energetic and they had a really good first day of training camp where people were really working hard. And it wasn't like, let's warm up and get into it, kind of like we're just starting. No, the momentum's already there. And these guys we're going right away, full tilt. And that's fantastic to hear. We've seen some of the footage from training camp. Thank you, hello, and welcome podcast. Thank you for filming stuff. Samson and S from Raptors Republic also, and seeing different footage from training camp yesterday. And well, there was an epic battle between Brandon Ingram and Ochai Agbaji 101 for bragging rights as a defensive power versus an offensive power. And it looked like there was points being won on both sides. Brandon getting some nice fadeaways over Ochai. Ochai playing some good defense on him also at times. We've seen all kinds of stuff. The Raptors Republic guys showing that they split up the players into four different half courts by group. And, it was like bigs, guards, wings, stuff like that. But yeah, it seems like a very good first day. It seems like the guys got over there great on the flight from Toronto to Calgary. And, they're off and running. Apparently, they're going to Banff this weekend to go sightseeing. And a lot of them I don't think any of them have gone to Banff ever before. Any of them, including our Canadian RJ Barrett, revealing in his interview yesterday that he has not gone to Banff yet, but it's something that he's looking forward to. Jamal Shed calling Alberta, North Texas, saying this is like supposedly like where I'm from, except it's in Canada, Alberta. He's probably right to a degree. But yeah, all kinds of great stuff from yesterday. We'll react to the media questions. Eric Kareen, you're on notice with me right now, you jerk. Yeah, I got to go off on Eric Kareen today, guys. And then, we'll go over what we're hearing from the training camp. Also, all the other news and notes and all the other stuff we do on the Rapid Freak stream. Let's go. Let's go. All right, Trevor J. Trevor J's first in today. Of course, the Commissioner of Fun has his words of wisdom to start off the stream, right? He's saying they want your position, but couldn't walk a mile in your pain. Ooh, that's like that Depeche Mode. Try walking in my shoes. You'll stumble in my footsteps. See the tame that poor the tide gets. If you try walking in my shoes. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Like everybody's got a life path and a life story. And some people went through some real fights and fires to get to where they are. And some people think that it's easy to get to their spot, but they didn't know the route. They didn't know the price paid to get to that spot. And it's crazy. Yeah, they want the blessing, but they built for the battle it took to get there. Yeah, the hard work is part of the thing to get to the success. So you got to put in that time. You got to put in that work to get to that spot. And if you're going to try and just get to that spot without doing the work, well, it's not how it works. Thank you, Trevor, for your words of wisdom. I appreciate you, man. I love you, man. Trevor's bringing up the news from last night. The WNBA finals are set. Las Vegas Aces winning in overtime over Indiana Fever last night to put them out. Yeah, they put up a good fight, and Kelsey Mitchell did not get hurt. They would win. You really believe that? Well, Kelsey Mitchell had cramping in the third quarter last night and had to leave the game. Walked off on her own will without the stretcher, but they had to take her to the hospital to get fluids to rehydrate her because her cramping was so bad. Her body cramped up. She could not complete the game last night, which is crazy. It's crazy. How does it get to that point where you're that cramped up? And man, what bad timing this whole entire season. I'll say this, Indiana Fever, salute to you. Just like the Pacers, you guys have had a dream season where you've gone further than you thought, and there's nothing wrong with that. Caitlin Clark not being available for the playoffs was a big blow right from the start. but y'all achieved beyond what anybody thought you would. It's by getting this far. In fact, I thought you were going to win last night, but sadly, it's not to be. And the pedigree and the know-how of Becky Hammond's team came through at the end. The Las Vegas Aces will be returning to the WNBA Finals once again. This is like the third time in 4 seasons, right? The Aces have been in the finals, winning 2 of the championships in the last 3 years. So we'll just have to see how it goes this year. Is the dynasty going to get another one, or can the triple threat of Phoenix Mercury come out there and stop the Aces from gaining another WNBA championship? Very, very interesting stuff. Too bad for the Fever. It's been a great run. Hold your head up high. In the year that you had, Fever, you guys were awesome this year. Kelsey Mitchell was tough to see leave the game in the very important pivotal game like that. Yeah, very, very tough. Alja Wilson after the game saying very nice things about Kelsey, saying that she hates to see somebody like that go down, and that the Indiana Fever need to pay her correctly because she is a real star. And that's nice. That's nice. Of course, a lot of the WNBA talk right now is about what Collier said this week about the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, and how she is a failure and she is not representing the league very well. And she took it right to her. And the crazy thing is, the backlash isn't, so shut up, you're criticizing the powers that be. No, people are supporting her and they're agreeing with her. Whether they're current players or past players of the WNBA, there are people coming out and supporting the FISA for her comments on Kathy. And you know what? It's probably true. It's probably true. I've thought that the WNBA has had bad leadership for a couple of years now. I think that they're about to grow and expand, and that, Kathy needs to get the hell out of the way. And they need somebody new to run that league who has a new vision, because in some ways I feel like Kathy's holding back the WNBA. And I think then the FISA feels it, and I think that the rest of the ladies that are in the league know it too. And that's why if they're going to expand their wings and go further than they've gone, in all kinds of different ways, whether it's financially or just growing the league in popularity, I think that, the time may have come for the WNBA commissioner. I mean, that's what it looks like to me from the outside. If you're not going to get the ladies paid correctly across the board with the new TV deals coming, well, we're going to need to, something's going to have to give, is what's going to happen here. That's right. And the players are the product. So don't get mad at them. They're the product, and they're exactly right. This is very reminiscent of early labor struggles in the NBA, what the WNBA is going through right now. And, well, the women of the WNBA deserve to get their percentage of the shares of profits for that league in their percentage. The owners aren't going to just get all the money like they did in the NBA, screwing over the men back in the day, the guys back then. So, yeah, the women of the WNBA are going to go through a similar labor struggle. It's happening now in the present in front of us. So, yeah, let's see what else you're saying, Trevor. First day Raptors training camp, full of excitement. Ingram and Oshai going at it. Yeah, that was fun. When Oshai blocked Ingram at one point, Jamal Shed yelled, "Ouch, ouch," started yelling. I'm starting to see what everybody's saying about Shed. He talks a lot, and he's loud, and he's annoying. That's what RJ said about Jamal Shed in his interview after the practice yesterday. He said, yeah, Jamal's annoying, man. He's everywhere. He's always trying to steal the ball. He's talking about his defense. But, yeah, it's true. It's true. Jamal Shed is a leader. And as RJ Barrett said, he was never really a rookie. The man came into the league already a bona fide vet because he's a point guard of immense confidence and a very learned guy. And he came in already with a lot of knowledge that's not normal in an NBA rookie. So I agree with RJ Barrett. Jamal Shed was never a true rookie. Never a true rookie. And that was interesting to say. So why am I mad at Eric Kareen? I'm mad at Eric Kareen for a couple reasons yesterday. First of all, yeah, Emmanuel Quickley worked really hard this summer on his body. And that's what they were talking about yesterday in the media. That Darko brought up that Emmanuel's looking so strong. And Jamal Shed said that he had worked the hardest out of all the Raptors this summer. And he's in the absolute best shape. Well, he says that, and then Eric Kareen says, "Why aren't you the one in the best shape? What are you, confrontational little shit? Why are you so miserable, Eric Kareen? Stop going to the bar and drinking all night with Doug Smith. He's a horrible influence. I can tell you're hungover. I can tell as soon as you landed in Calgary, you hit that bar with Doug, and you're all glassy-eyed and looking like shit on the interview circuit. And you seem really surly and cantankerous and like you hate your life. Like, why do you hate yourself so much, Eric Kareem? I know you got a goofy ass voice. In some ways, I want to be nice to you because everybody makes fun of you and your zesty voice. But at some point, I'm just sick of you because you're a negative person. You're a piece of shit. Two finger salute to you, Eric Kareem. And I'm going to say why in just a second. Because that man, and they cut it out on the official Raptors admin interview, but well, hello and welcome got the full cut. So if you want to see it, go see Will Lose, the Chase channel. Because you can hear exactly what Eric Kareem said to RJ Barrett before his interview. And I have a big, huge fuck you to Eric Kareem for you think you're funny, you piece of shit. Why are you so miserable in your life, Eric Kareem? Seriously, is it because you got a zesty voice and you sound stupid as fuck when you ask questions at Media Day? Because listen, I wasn't going to make fun of your voice until today, but I am now because you're a vindictive piece of shit, and I'm sick of you, man. You know what he did? And I'll tell you why I'm pissed at him right now. RJ Barrett steps up to the media, and they're talking, and they're saying stuff like, RJ's like, no, I'm glad to see you guys. I like you guys. I like you guys. And the media, I don't know why. RJ likes you. He wants to do interviews with you. You should be happy about that, right? Well, they're like, and Jay Lou's kind of like, well, you like us now, RJ. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. Josh Lindbergh, you could be two-faced and stab him in the back at some point and say some crazy-ass shit in an article for TSN. But nah. And then Eric Kareem says, let's see if you like us on January 15th. Motherfucker, don't you bring up the trade deadline with RJ to his face like that, you piece of shit, Eric Kareem. And when he said that, RJ went kind of like, oh, you're a fucking asshole. I can tell. RJ's face right away, look back at him. He's like, okay, you're an asshole. I can tell you're a fucking asshole. Well, I'm recognizing you're an asshole with RJ, Eric Kareem, you piece of shit. Two finger salute. You say, well, let's see how you feel about us on January 15th. You dumbass zesty voice. You stupid ass shit, Eric Kareem. You were even a little fucking testy with Darko in the fucking interview also. So I'm sick of it, man. You need to get more sleep, hydrate yourself after you drink your face off the night before, and come in with a better attitude, Eric Kareem, you piece of shit. Seriously, you're going to be hungover at the media scrum and looking like a pile of garbage standing next to RJ Barrett? You better be fucking respectful towards him. And that's what I'm going to say about that right there. You think you're an interviewer, but no, you're trying to be a sideline stand-up comedian with your fast takes and your fast little rebuttals to the players. Fuck you, Eric Kareem, you piece of shit. January 15, my ass, you bitch. That's what I say to that motherfucker right there. Yeah, he was a little fucking full of shit on Media Day too on Monday. So whatever is up your ass, whatever your problem is in your life right now, Eric Kareem, don't bring it to work. Drink it off your face at the bar with Doug Smith at night. You go ahead and do that. That's your right. But I can tell you do that, you dumbass bitch. So maybe be more professional and stop being a troll. Doug Smith, he can handle his alcohol better, obviously, than you can. That's what I say to that. Boom goes the dynamite. And don't you tell me Eric Kareem wasn't at the bar with Doug Smith. I know he was. That's right. Let's keep going. All right, let's see. James is here. Good to see Raptor Freak James. Quickly is a shooter. RJ rim pressure. Scotty connector and BI scorer. Pirtle defensive anchor. Okay, best roster construction we've had in a while. You know, the roster construction is pretty good, and I'm sick of this. People like Kate Burness, who did an interview with Bobby Webster yesterday for TSN. Fantastic. Great red outfit, Kate Burness. You're amazing. Why are you asking Bobby, what are you going to make the Bobby era? Man, why is everybody so dense on this? Why are y'all acting like Bobby's new to the new kid on the block? This man is no Jordan, Jonathan, or Marky Mark kind of bunch. No, he's not a new kid on the block. This man's been working for the Raptors for 12 years now already. He's been with us since 2014. Why is all the media acting like this is a totally new era? Because Masai stepped away? Listen, no. Bobby Webster said it too when you asked him, Kate Burness, that him and Masai were pretty similar in what they looked at and things and viewpoints, and they worked very well together. And a lot of what Masai would do now, if he was still with us, is what Bobby's going to do. So I don't know. And maybe this is Ed Rogers directed or something. Can you please disregard Masai's memory and get Bobby era more talked about? Whatever it is, Bobby Webster's worked for the Raptors for over a decade. So how the hell are you going to say he's got to put his mark on the Bobby era? This been the Bobby era with Masai this whole damn time. I don't understand why these media people keep trying to distinguish this. Yeah, we're in the post-Masai era, and we're in the Ed Rogers ownership era. and it's weird, I'll tell you. But I'll tell you right now, we're going the same route in the same direction on the same navigation course that we've had for the last 4 years since Scotty Barnes came to this team. And nothing's deviating just because Ed Rogers want to be an asshole and fire Masai Ujiri for no good reason. Bobby Webster just picks up the baton and carries the work forward with what we're trying to do. So I don't understand why the press keeps trying to distinguish. What are you going to do with your era, Bobby? Listen, this man is just carrying on the continuing work for the team of him and Masai. It's just Masai ain't there anymore, but he is on the phone and he will be talked to still. So I don't get it, Kate Burness. Why are you asking what is the era of Bobby? Bobby is the head of basketball operations for the Raptors, the GM, and he's going to do a good job like he has been doing. And once again, he said it straight. When Kate Burness brought this question about the salary cap this season, he's like, the salary cap doesn't matter until the end of the year, and it just takes a simple move to change it. Y'all chicken littling over all this bullshit with the salary cap. Oh, the salary cap, the apron. Oh, now Bobby just shut it down. He said it to you, Kate. He said, look, we don't count anything on the salary cap until the end of the year. I can make a move, and boom, we're under, and we're done. So y'all can go ahead and fret about it. You can make a big deal about it all over Raptor Spaces media and make fans feel gaslit because you're worrying about something they shouldn't be worried about. Seriously. So don't listen to this bullshit. If you hear the media this year talking trash about the apron, the salary cap for the Raptors, and tough decisions, they're gaslighting you. Don't listen to them. Bobby Webster said it himself. He knows better than anybody in the NBA because he's one of the best salary cap experts in the whole entire league history. And it's not going to be an issue. Bobby's got it, okay? Now, some of the dates that are coming up are important. ESPN has got this article out today, what to watch for all 30 teams in the training camp. Let's see what bullshit they're saying about us today. They're talking about the Raptors have 14 guaranteed contracts, 1 partial non-guarantee, that's A.J. Lawson, 2 Exhibit 10s, and 3 two-ways. I believe we have 3 Exhibit 10s. So anyway, what to watch for? Roster availability and defensive identity. I've seen a wrong stat in this article already from ESPN. They've not fact checking themselves because they fucked up already. I'll tell you what it is in a second. Add Toronto to a list of teams whose health will play a huge role in whether the Raptors can contend this season for a playoff spot. That's fair. That's fair. We're going to be healthy though. Out of the 5 key players on the roster, Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, and Jakob Poeltl, only Quickley has played more than 64 games in a season since 2022-23. That's wrong. That's actually the opposite. Only Quickley hasn't played at least 63 games in a season. Y'all need to read your copy and edit right. Manuel hasn't. Why do you say that Manuel's the one who's played more than 64 games in a season? No, Scotty played 65 last year, actually, because he wanted to get the awards threshold so that he could be in the running for postseason awards. And he did make 65. So that's factually wrong right there, because I can tell you Scotty Barnes played 65 plus games last year. And you're trying to say that none of those Raptors played over 64 games in the last 2 years? You are liars. Fact check yourself, ESPN. And I'm pretty sure RJ's played more than 65 games in a season in the last 2 years. So whatever this bullshit is, sure, Brandon, sure, Emmanuel. I don't think Emmanuel's played 65 games in a season in the last 2 years. But I think Poeltl, Scotty, and RJ have, if I've been paying close attention. So right there, you're wrong with your fact check right there, man. ESPN with your bullshit. Also, they said this. Because of an ankle injury Ingram suffered in New Orleans, this preseason will be the first time to see how he fits with the 4 players. Even without Ingram last season, the Raptors went 22-21 after January 13th. That improvement from the start of the season, they started 8-31, is a result of a defense that ranks second in efficiency and first in opponent effective field goal percentage since that date. So our defense turned it on the second half of the season. Some of it is that we were healthier, and some of it is we had an easier schedule. But also, we're going to show it against the top teams in the league from the start this year. And as Darko said in his interview yesterday, this is not a come back to the season and start fresh. This is on a foundation of last year we're building on top of. And a lot of the stuff that we did last year is carrying over into this year, including the defensive things we built halfway through the season last year. So expect the Raptors to come out. As Darko said yesterday, our defensive identity is our identity. And if we're not doing that full court press, hounding the hell out of people, then we're doing something wrong. And they got all cheeky about it. That's what Eric Kareen said. He's like, Darko, do you think that there will be a problem sustaining your kind of offense? Is that why you need to have a 10 or 11 man rotation? Yes. That's what he said. Yes. Yes. To be able to go all out, like we're going to on defense, we're going to have to bring guys in quick. And actually, Darko said that he wants those players to raise their hand and say, I need to come out because I can't give the exact level of energy into the game for what we need to do right now. And I'm going to say, I'll come out real quick. And he said, I want the players to feel like they can trust me. If they raise their hand and they want to come out because they're too tired to run with the intensity on defense that I want, that I will bring them back in shortly and they won't be out for too long. And I need to build that trust for that. So there's a lot of different balls Darko's going to be juggling this year with the rotation, the minutes, and thinking about fatigue. And also, he made it very clear, instead of shrinking the rotation to like 8, he's going to more likely go 10 or 11 instead of 9 or 10 this year. So it's very likely we're going to see 11-man rotations this year. And he should, because we've got a very deep roster. And I'd like to see enough of the young guys get spot duty here and there to get tries. We want to see Shamshay play on the main level. So an 11-man rotation is a good idea to me. So, yeah. Let's see. They're saying dates to watch. October the 20th is the last day to extend the contracts of RJ Barrett and Ochai Agbaji on what they're doing. October 31st is the last day to exercise the third-year team option of Jacoby Walter and the fourth-year team option of Grady Dick. So, yeah, that's what ESPN's saying about us this morning. Factually incorrect. Emmanuel Quickley is not the only player on the Raptors starting lineup in the last 2 years to play 63 or more games in the season. You got that opposite. He's actually the one who hasn't been able to play 63 games in either season. The other guys all have. Fact check yourself, ESPN. What is wrong with professional sports entities not doing their homework and getting things right? Is there just too much reliance on AI and some other bullshit that they're not even really checking the fact checking of the AI, or they just don't give a shit about getting things factually right in the news anymore? It's just a post-truth world is where we're living, I guess. Whether it's Antonio Davis is the first Raptors All-Star, or that they're saying that the Raptors starting 5, none of them have played over 63 games in a season in the last 2 years. Does that sound right? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's not right. That's right. Let's see. Trevor J saying Curry brothers are full in effect in Golden State Warriors. That's kind of a nice story. As we've heard, Seth Curry did play for the Warriors in a training camp, but he didn't make the team, and he hasn't officially played with his brother Steph in Golden State until this year. And I love this story. This is fantastic stuff. As we're seeing the Curry brothers play in the Air Canada Center in 1999 when their father played for the Raptors, number 30, Del Curry. I used to work at the arena as a concession worker, and I come into work early, get my stand set up, and I'd go sit in the arena and watch the players shoot around. And I'd see young Steph and Seth shooting around as kids in middle school in Toronto in around 2000, making shots, bombing threes. It's a special thing to me because of those memories of seeing the Curry brothers taking shots as kids of the Raptor, Del Curry. And it's just special. And to see them playing together, there's something about that does touch my heart. And, well, the Warriors are going to be interesting, solidifying things with Horford and Melton and Gary Payton II. It'll be very interesting to see what this team's all about. Once again, all those California teams are old age homes this year, whether it's the Lakers, whether it's the Clippers, whether it's the Warriors. These are old ass rosters. And, well, will these old ass rosters of old ass players that from the last generation on the way out be able to run with the new style of Oklahoma City, Indiana, and Toronto? That's right. Because we come in to run. And like Bobby said, like Darko has said, this is the trend in the NBA right now. It's all out playing. It's defense is going to be just ratcheting up the intensity. In some ways, some people don't want that because they're like, oh, I'd like to be lazy. Why do you want to play so hard, Raptors? You're going to make us play hard? The other side's complaining. I would say this. You know what? This is going to be just the way it is. The league may trend into this being just the standard for all teams at some point soon. And that if you don't do this, you're just going to be left behind. So it's going to be even harder for players to make the NBA because you can't just coast on your talent. You got to have that voracious get after it and go to play a 94 feet full court press for a majority of the minutes that you play in the league, because that's the way this league is trending right now. This shit is not going away. This shit was proven to be winning in the finals this year. And the Raptors are on the wave of it as one of the teams that are employing it. Some of these old ass teams like the Warriors, like the Clippers, they're going to try and run slow things for the vets and keep them safe. No, they're going to get run off the floor by younger teams that are hungrier and voracious like the Oklahoma City Thunder. So it's very interesting trends, and the Raptors are right in the middle of the cutting edge. That's right. They're right in the middle of the cutting edge. Bobby Webster has positioned us with that, especially with the draft this year and getting Colin Murray-Boyles, Elijah Martin, adding to the defensive stature of this team. That's right. That's it right there. Boom goes the dynamite. Jonathan Kuminga agreed to a 2-year deal with Golden State, $48.5 million. So, Jonathan, that's how much you're worth, my guy. You're worth $24 million a season. I don't know what your price was from before. That seems a bit fair. I think you were wanting 40 or 30 million a year or something like that, something crazy like that. Well, you get paid less than Fred VanVleet, my guy, and you should. You should. Trevor's saying RJ said he is 9 and Quickly is 5. The new nickname. I used this before when they came here. I called them 9 to 5 for a little while. It never really stuck. I was singing Dolly Parton even. I did it on the stream. You can go find it. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Was because it's 9 to 5. Of course. Number 9 to number 5. And 5 and 9 are good friends and have been good friends and teammates for a few years now. And I want to see more 9 to 5, Dolly Parton. That's right. That's right. The boss ain't giving you respect. You got to go 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Yeah, we're going to see this year. And I think that it's funny that it's 9 to 5 because that means RJ's passing to IQ. And that may be very well some of the action right there. Listen, the rave reviews about Immanuel Quickley's body right now are amazing because it's like, look, I can tell. We could see it this summer. The way Immanuel was pumping iron this summer, he really did add bulk to his shoulders and his arms. And in some ways, the whole thing for the Raptors, and this was what Scotty said after his rookie year, is after my rookie year, I realized I have horrible conditioning and I need to get my conditioning up if I'm going to play defense and play the NBA right. So Scotty made a commitment to upping his conditioning, and we've seen it in the last few years of him getting better and better on the court with not getting tired. Well, Shed hit that wall last year too. And he said, yeah, I have to have my conditioning up. Immanuel knows that too. Because listen, if Darko's going to be making them run like this, like crazy, these guys have to be able to have that breath. And, Immanuel's took it very seriously. In some ways, Immanuel Quickley had his most injured season in his professional basketball career at any level, starting as a child. Last year, he didn't like it. So what did he do this summer? He stronged himself. He got strength. He built himself up to be more durable, to be more fast, to be more conditioned. And it's true. I mean, if Jamal Shed's saying Immanuel Quickley is looking like the most in shape Raptor right now, I could see it. I believe it. And I think that RJ Barrett talking about how Emmanuel's going to surprise everybody this season with what he's doing. Yeah, I could see it. I could believe it. Because look, the talent that Emmanuel has is immense. He's one of these crazy players that can stop on a dime and shoot squarely and make a very good high percentage shot. And that could be 4 feet away from the 3-point line. That is a weapon you want on your team, who can run full court down the court and just all of a sudden stop on a dime, just like Maxey, and hit that shot right away. He can just stop whenever he wants. And people will be like, oh, he stopped and he's shooting. Oh, crap. Why am I not near him? I thought he was going to run faster. It's shit like that. This change of speed from Immanuel Quickley is one of his best weapons. And, man, I'm excited for it. I want to see the combination of the strength and the improved conditioning of not just Jamal Shed and Immanuel Quickley, but all the second-year players coming back, Jacoby Walter, Jonathan Mobo, Arish Shamshay. But, yeah, it's exciting. There's a lot of promise. And once again, one of the themes we're hearing this week already in training camp is that all the Raptors have improved this summer, and the aggregate accumulation of all the Raptors coming together with what they did individually and adding it in the pot for the whole team is going to add up to maybe even a 50-win season. That's what I'm saying this right now. Because, look, they ain't messing around with their lives. They ain't wasting it. The Raptors are organized. They're doing things right. They're bringing in people of character, so we can't get sidetracked by knuckleheads. We're doing things right with the work ethic and the organization. The guys understand what it is, so we ain't going to get sidetracked for some other bullshit like toxicness on the down low. No, it's all on the up and up. It's organized. We're doing this the right way by the textbook. And when you do things the right way and guys are healthy, you're going to find success. You're going to find success. So be ready for it, Raptors Nation. And anybody who's sleeping on the Raptors still at this point, well, you're going to wake up. You're going to wake up because we're going to come into the season. We're going to attack the season and we're going to get it and we're going to win for all. That's right. That's right. That's what we're all about this year. That's right. That's it right there. Trevor's saying, great interview with Bobby on TSN. Yeah, Kate Burness, you look so cute in your red outfit. And Bobby, always Bobby. It's like funny. Bobby, I'm trying to help you here. I'm trying to be a voice of reason and truth for the Raptors nation so that they can understand everything through all the BS, like the salary cap worries and all this bullshit. Yeah, we will tell them. We'll keep them straight. And I'll keep echoing what you say, Bobby, because in some ways, I don't want to misrepresent or misinform the Raptors nation. It's much better when our fans are well-informed and understand exactly what's going on instead of just making up shit and saying crazy-ass shit that's so misinformed and just wrong that I see in Raptors Reddit, that I see on Facebook, that I see in Instagram and other places. And I'm sure it's just really horrible on Twitter with the dumb shit people are saying too. So to be informed and understand the Raptors and what they're doing, fans, is the best way to be. And let's not fill in the blanks from American media telling us what the Raptors are. No. You listen to the players. You listen to Bobby. You listen to Darko. And, well, if you don't listen to them, come talk to me. I'll give you the Cliff Notes. That's what we'll do right here. That's right. That's right. Let's see. James is saying BI and Oshai were going at it during practice. We're going to see a lot of Ingram fadeaways this season. Yeah, James. I love it. Listen, you can see in those clips of Oshai and Brandon against each other, like just how hard and intense they're battling. It's not like Oshai's going easy on him. He's really leaning into him and being very physical. Now, you see in that matchup that Brandon Ingram's length is extraordinary. That's the thing that's going to get him those shots because you can bump him, you can hit him, but if he fades away far enough, you're not going to be able to block his shot. Those long-ass arms, and it's a bread and butter move for him. That's a move that he talked about. That's his go-to move at the elbow with those little turnaround fadeaways he's doing on Oshai around the free throw line. Oh, man, we're going to see that. Get used to it, Raptors fans. It's going to be nice. It's going to be feeling very comforting when you see Brandon Ingram operate offensively for the Raptors. It's going to be very comforting. Trust me. It's going to be very comforting. That's the word. Trevor's saying that the Red Sox did beat the Yankees in wild card game number 1. This is a best of 3 series. So Red Sox, don't play with your food. Take them out. Beat them in the second game also. And the Yankees, why did you even try to not let a Canadian buy a ticket to the next round? You're not even in the next round. Let's see you get out right away. Go on, Red Sox. Let's go, Boston, Beantown. Let's go, Fever Pitch, Jimmy Fallon, Drew Barrymore. Let's go, Boston. I'm in Red Sox Nation right now. That's right. That's right. Monique is here. Super fan Monique Lawrence, the greatest, is in the house. Woo! That's right. She's strutting and cutting just like Bruce and Barbara Beefcake right now because she's ready. She's ready. Let's go. Raptors, come out and play. That's right. Let's go, Monique. Let's go to the open practice on Friday in Calgary. Mark Tavares. Let's go, Mark Tavares and the kids, and see more Pape and see the Raptors play at Calgary in the open practice on Friday. And then let's watch Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray play the Raptors on Monday night in Vancouver against the Raptors. It's going to be fantastic, man. I'm so excited. We're there. We got so much to look forward to. This training camp week is awesome. I love seeing the footage, hearing the interviews. And then we get the open practice on Friday. And then we're going to do our draft, our fantasy draft on Sunday morning. Very, very excited about playing fantasy NBA with the Raptor Freak family once again this year. We got 16 great teams, and we're going to have a fantastic fantasy year. So it's all set. If you're in there, you're in there. And remember, the draft is on Sunday morning on the Sunday Report on this channel. And we'll draft. It starts at 9:45. So be ready for that, people that are in the draft for our fantasy. That's right. Monique saying this. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Get great first day of training camp. Oshai versus Brandon, 9-5 nicknames. Man, oh man, Darko is so ready. So am I. Yeah, I love it. I love that Darko is such an organized, great coach that, you know, this is the thing. You're putting in the work every day. You're getting that 1% achievement more on top of what you already did. You're building every day. Win the day. And he's building and building and building. He's building from last year. You know, in some ways, he is building from the first year he coached. It was Scotty and Grady. And in some ways, he's building up from last year as a team, the whole team from about halfway through the season when something clicked defensively. We're building. It's a foundational build into the second story, and the first story is almost finished. And that's what I'm saying. We build this up to get that second Larry O'Brien. You know, somebody said to Jamal Shed in the interview yesterday, you say you want to get a championship. Yeah, he didn't say that outright, but yeah, of course he wants to get a championship. We want to get a championship. It's why training with Alex Caruso this summer and with a champion from the Oklahoma City Thunder, learning some stuff. That's right. Don't make little faces to the side, Eric Kareen, when Jamal Shed's talking about wanting to be a champion and smirking like you're a little shit. Oh, no, you want to be a champion. Fuck you, Eric Kareen. I can tell you're one of those frenemy journalists. In some ways, you're going to come in and smile to the Raptors' faces, and then you write some bullshit hit piece in your article on The Athletic afterwards. So F you, Eric Kareen. Once again, January 15th, my ass, motherfucking bitch-ass motherfucker. January 15th, my nuts, bitch, is what I say to Eric Kareen. How dare you come at Star J. Barrett? Great man from Toronto, our hometown hero, like that with that audacity and disrespect. Eric Kareen, you're on the list right now. If I want to do a power rankings of dirtbags in our press, Eric Kareen, you're number one right now. You just beat out Michael Grange. Michael Grange has been number one for a couple of years, but Eric Kareen, you have ascended to number one dirtbag list out of the press. If you guys want to see the full dirtbag rankings for the press around the Toronto Raptors, well, I could go over it a little bit. It's Eric Kareen is number one dirtbag right now. And I would say that Michael Grange is number two. And number three is that guy named John that said that shit about Scotty on the hot mic last year. So yeah, those are my top three dirtbags in the media press. And Doug Smith, you're good, man. You're good, Doug Smith. You're good. You're good. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Monique is saying, of course, Jamal. Hang on. Let's see. It jumped ahead. Let me make sure I get back to Monique's second comment here. Of course, Jamal was asking about next role, working with Caruso. I'm itching to see IQ. I love what Jamal said about working with the first unit. They asked them about the battles and how they've been going. And, in the past, the bench mob with Fred and Pascal, when they were going against Kyle and DeMar, they would beat the Raptors in practice, the starters. The bench mob would do like that, but it's not at that point right now. We've heard a lot of news that the starting five for the Raptors is really good in practice and what they're doing. Like Brandon, Scotty, RJ, Emmanuel, and Jakob are really solidifying as a unit that they are badasses. And Jamal said they're kicking our ass. He said that yesterday. He said, when we play them, they are absolutely kicking our ass right now. Now, maybe during the course of the season, the second-year players with Jamal will get better, and they'll push them more and more as time goes on. And that's what's supposed to happen. But right now, the starters for the Raptors are mopping the floor with the second unit, from what I'm hearing. From what I'm hearing right here. Of course, Darko has a philosophy for this team, and this is how every team does this. And we've seen it with the Pacers last year, is that the season is a progressive stage season. At the beginning of the season, when you start with training camp, you're building and building and building. You want to get better over every month as you get closer to April. And well, the Raptors may look like something this week in Calgary at training camp, but they need to look better by December. They need to look better by February. They need to look even better by April. And that's the thing. They're a work in progress, and it's building up from things that they built last year to build up more and more as the season goes on. And you could see it with the Pacers last year. The Pacers, when we saw them at the beginning of the year, they were like ho-hum. I was like, oh, the Pacers. Yeah, we kicked their ass. Sorry, Siakam. We beat you. Thank you for getting us Darko dinner. But yeah, that happened in the beginning of the season, even the middle of the season. When we played them around January, I was like, man, they're still not that good. Their defense kind of sucks. And that's why I didn't have a high opinion of them getting far in the playoffs. But somewhere between playing us in January and the playoffs, the Pacers turned it on. The Pacers went to new levels of play on defense that really elevated them and made them successful in the playoffs to get to the finals. That's the thing we need to do also. Is that understand that the Raptors, the whole season goes on, are supposed to improve and get better and better week after week. And that is the whole plan with Darko. That is the whole idea. And that's the whole idea of getting 1% better every day, win every day. So expect this. The Raptors are trying to build throughout the season. And just like we got better and better as last year, partly because the schedule was easier at the end of the year, we're going to do the same thing this year. That we're going to learn, we're going to discover this lineup together with Brandon, and we're going to hone it. And as the season goes on, we're going to be looking to improve and improve and improve. And who knows, by April, how good the Raptors could possibly be going into a possible playoff run, guys. That's the thing that Raptors fans have to understand, that this is a work in progress the whole entire year. And Darko's goal is to get us better and better every game. Every game, getting better and better. That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. James is saying Darko compared RJ to Ginobili in the past. Do you think that's accurate? I've seen you talk about this in the Discord, the Ginobili comparison to RJ. I think that some of the footwork with the Euro step, of course, everybody's going to associate that with Manu. And that I think that's what it is. I think that may be the only part, really. I mean, there is some similarities with the way they barrel to the basket and try and make layups off Euro steps and kind of just going through the lane with people around them. But I think that's the only thing they're really comparable on. There's not much else about it. I would say that RJ is a more complete player than Ginobili. Ginobili, sure, he came off the bench. It's this very special case, Manu, because look, he was a perennial six man his whole entire career on a very good team. And that was a luxury for the Spurs. And his ego didn't want to get in the starting lineup and stuff like that. But in some ways, comparing Ginobili to anybody else after him in this league is just not fair, because Ginobili is a very special Argentinian player that played in a certain way, and it was very in a specific role. And in some ways, he's unique. He's unique to the NBA. You could probably figure out some bench player that's similar to him somewhere in some era on some team. But RJ is not like Manu Ginobili. He may steal some Euro steps moves, his barrel into the basket, but for the most part, this man is nothing like Manu. And if that's part of the basis to say, well, if Manu came off the bench, RJ should come off the bench, because I'm hearing some people saying this right now. No. Nothing's set in stone, like Darko said. These guys got to earn their roles. Nothing's set in stone. If somebody's going to come out of the starting lineup, it could happen. But RJ's in there right now, and don't expect him to do badly to lose his starting spot. He's going to kick so much ass this year, and everybody's not going to question him starting or playing with Brandon and Scotty. I think some people see that starting lineup and they're like, well, I'd like to balance things more. And that's why I want to put RJ on the bench, is because I want to have more scoring off the bench. And some people think that that's the key, and they may want Grady to start instead. Well, I would say no, because what's happening right now behind the scenes with them is he's running that unit with Emmanuel and Scotty and Brandon and Yak, and it's going really well. So listen, unless there are real problems with the bench scoring and some sort of reason or whatever, I don't see this happening. It's not like RJ's trying to fail and lose his starting spot, guys. He's going to go out there. He's going to kick so much ass, and everybody's going to be like, yeah, no, he needs to start. He needs to start. We're talking about the man who was the leading scorer for the Raptors last season. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. I know that's part of why you're saying that. I think it's accurate to the fact that RJ will use a Euro step. I think that's where it's accurate. Monique is saying RJ first time in Calgary. Yeah, a lot of these guys first time. I don't think hardly any of them have been in Calgary before. Seriously, not even like, it's crazy because, RJ's a Canadian kid who grew up in Canada, and he's never been to the city of Calgary before. In some ways, I have respect for that. I've never been to the city of Calgary myself. Never, ever been to Calgary. I don't even think I've been to Alberta. I don't think I've ever set foot in the whole entire province of Alberta. Well, it's just how it is. Sometimes you just don't get to certain necks of the woods because you don't have no family there and you ain't got no reason to go there. I mean, I would maybe want to go to Banff. It sounds like it's a pretty cool place. Maybe someday I'll drive to Alberta just for the hell of it. Why not? Let's drive to Alberta. Let's go. Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't think any of them have been there before. I don't think Scotty's ever been to Calgary. I don't think any of them have been there. It's going to be, I think Darko's never been to Calgary either. So I think this is all new for all of them. Chris Combs here. Good morning to the great Chris Combs, one of the great Raptor Freak predictors. Man, can't wait for the season. Let's go. This is that time of year where we get really excited. We're excited. I know that's part of the reason why y'all want to come and see me in the morning, is because you want to get this excitement feeling with other people like us that are really, really excited for the Raptors season. Some people are going crazy for the Blue Jays right now because they're going to the postseason. I get that. And I am kind of going crazy for them. I'd love to see them go far. ESPN's predicting that the Blue Jays will beat their opponent, whoever it is, Red Sox or Yankees, and get to the ALCS and play against Seattle. That's their predictions on ESPN right now. So we'll just have to see where the Blue Jays can go. They're not picking them to win the World Series, though. They say picking all these other teams to have a better chance to win the World Series. Well, I'd love to see a third World Series title for the Toronto Blue Jays come this fall. That'd be amazing. Let's make it happen, guys. So make those bats warm up in October for once, is what I would say right there. But yeah, there's a lot of excitement in the city for Blue Jays, but there's a lot of excitement also. Some of it's for the Leafs and the NHL season starting. Some of it's for the Raptors. And I would say this, Raptors Nation, hold your head up with pride. We're about to come back into winning again. And we're coming in and with a vengeance. And this time, listen, we're not going to need respect from anybody because they're going to give it to us because they're going to have to, because we're going to beat their ass like that. If they really can replicate the 83 turnovers and 3 summer league games this summer on the NBA level with our talent, woo-wee, this league's in trouble. Because Darko's saying this, that what you saw at summer league is what we're doing this regular season. That was an aberration. Chucky Hepburn and Elijah Martin and Jamal Shed getting on the ground, Jacoby Walter hitting the ground to get those loose balls, Colin Murray Boyles getting his hand in the cookie jar and getting that cookie out of the jar. You know, all that kind of stuff is going to be regular coming up for our team, and we should expect it. In fact, in some ways, as fans, we want to demand our team puts that kind of effort out every single night. And they're up for the task. That's what I'm hearing from them. That's right. That's right. Nins is here. Good morning to Raptor Freak Nins, holding it down in the city of brotherly love for us. They may have Kyle Lowry, but we have Nins. That's right. Morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. What day is the fantasy draft? The fantasy draft will be this Sunday. On the Sunday report is usually on the Sunday. We do our fantasy draft. It'll be at 9:45. The stream will start at 9:30. I'll do 15 minutes of talk before that we do the draft. The draft will commence, and we'll do it live on this show. So anybody who's interested in watching the 2025 Raptor Freak NBA Fantasy Draft, it's going to be Sunday on our show, and you can see who drafts who. Who's going to get Grady? Who's going to get Scotty? Only one Raptor per team. That's the rule, though. You can only have one Raptor on your roster. We want everybody to get a chance to have a Raptor on their roster. That's right, Nins. Reggie's here. Good to see Reggie. New York Yankees lost 2-1 to Boston last night. One more loss, and they're out. That's right. That's right. Let's go, Reggie. Let's go, Blue Jays. Let's go. Let's go. That's right. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Wednesday. Good morning to you, Fiercely Salsera. Always good to see MJ in the chat. Smooth saying, Toronto Blue Jays hosting an inter-squad game today at Skydome. $10 admission, 5-inning game today and tomorrow at 3 p.m. This is great news, guys. So Blue Jays Freak, if you're watching right now and you want to get some little bit of postseason practice teaser, go on down to Skydome and you can see the Blue Jays play an inter-squad game, $10 to get in. It's a 5-inning game, the Blue Jays versus the Blue Jays. It's today and tomorrow at 3 p.m. Fantastic information. Smooth for that. You're getting a dunk for being informative. And, we're crossing over to the other sport. But in some ways, this is a very special time for Blue Jays Nation. And that's why lots of respect and love coming from Raptors Freak Nation. That's right. Smooth Brown Man, you got another dunk for being helpful and informative. And let's see, where is it here? Where is Smooth on here? There he is. 181 is your dunk total for the year now. 181. Yeah, you're up there, man. You're one of the leaders. Let's see. Fiercely saying, I like what James is saying, how you characterize our starters. This season is going to be special, fam. I can't wait. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I think it does. I think that people that just kind of look at us and they're kind of like they're confused about RJ, Brandon, and Scotty, they don't have to be. Listen, the thing is, these guys are all great scorers, but they're also very good passers. Scotty for sure, but the other two are underrated passers. And I think that in some ways, the way that our team's so unselfish, it's going to be kind of like a game of like, I want to get the ball to you. I just hope that they don't get sheepish on shooting themselves. Like they need to take the shot when the best available shot is there, when the high percentage shot, when the close to the basket shot is there. Don't kick it back out to somebody for three. Take that lane shot if you get that paint touch. I'm just saying, y'all can be unselfish to a degree, but I'm worried they may be too unselfish this year and passing up good shots because they want to give that extra pass to the next teammate. So there is a balance to selfishness that I want to see with the Raptors this year. They can't just be completely, oh, no, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. No, somebody needs to take it. So shoot the damn shot. That's right. Shoot the damn shot. That's right. Blackhawk, good morning to you, Neil. Ship Eric Kareen to the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Yeah, I don't understand it, man. Eric Kareen, you've been doing this job for a long time. You've been a reporter for the Raptors for a long time. Why are you still an asshole? And why would you be an asshole to RJ? Seriously, what did RJ ever do to you, bro? Seriously, what did he ever do to you? He's been nice to you in interviews. He's a great professional. He's a young man from Toronto. What the hell did he do to you, man? Why do you have to be so snarky and snide with your January 15 comment? RJ don't need this. And if the press is a negative vibes or toxic vibes towards our players, fuck you, Eric Kareem. Seriously, fuck you in some ways. RJ Barrett's going to get his shit figured out. If he comes and he kicks so much ass in this first month in October, in training camp, in preseason, in the first couple games of the season, by October the 31st or October 20th or whenever it is, if he kicks some, that's before the season starts. His extension gets kicked in or whatever. We'll just have to see what happens. Either way, we want RJ to stay in Toronto. If you're a real one for this city, you want RJ on your team. And Eric Kareem, I ain't having this. January 15, my ass, motherfucker. That's right. It's not accurate, but Darko was trying to give RJ an example to strive to. Yeah, yeah, he said that. That's right. He did say something about RJ and Ginobili initially when we acquired RJ Barrett. But yeah, I don't see it totally the same. In some ways, RJ is much stronger than Ginobili, and he can go through more. Ginobili was more finesse and kind of trying to get through stuff, like with less than strength. But RJ's more strength going through the lane with his steps. And, there's different things. I think that Ginobili wasn't really that well known for his outside shot, his three-point shot, really, at all. And maybe this year you guys are going to see catch and shoot RJ is very effective from three. Very, very effective from three this year. That's right. Fiercely saying congrats to the Aces for advancing to the finals. There are no punks, so it'll be interesting to see how the Mercury Bullies deal with them. Go Aces. There you go. Yeah, we'll have to see. It's a Western matchup. It's very interesting that the two teams in the WNBA finals are so Western centered. I guess this finals series will be very late night because just like the game last night started at 9:30, the games are going to be jumping from Phoenix to Las Vegas. And, well, we'll just have to see. Did the best team win? To me, I'm rooting for the Mercury. And it's mainly because I don't like dynasties too heavy. And I don't want the Vegas Aces to become too heavy of a dynasty by winning another championship this year. I'd rather see the Mercury win. So I'm behind Satu and Kalia. That's who I'm rooting for there. I'm rooting for the Mercury. That's officially where I'm throwing my hat in there. I also think that Becky Hammond sometimes is aggressively too aggressive. She's a little bit too intense in some ways, Becky Hammond. Let's just put it that way. Kaz is here. Good morning, Lex and Rat Free Crew. Good morning to you, Kaz. How are you doing today, sir? It looks like he's got a Kaz symbol on his thing. I was trying to see, well, that's a new emblem. Kaz, I have not forgotten about your trophy. We know that Canada Post is doing a little strike action right now. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to get it to you. But don't worry, you're going to get that sent to you. It may be on delay a little bit, but we'll see how it all goes. I need to go to the post office. I should have went right away. I didn't realize they were going to strike if I waited too long. But yeah, I'm going to have more time starting today very soon to do some of the things I need to catch up on that I haven't been able to do for a few weeks now. I mean, I've enjoyed my visit with my parents. It's been amazing. Having my folks around to see me has been awesome, and I love them so much. And I can't wait to see them again. Honestly, I can't wait to see them again. Let's see. Good morning to you, Cass, though. G saying the Fever versus Aces game was one of the best I've ever seen. Stayed up until 12:30, but it was so good. Fever with no Clark, Sid, Sophie, Ari, Chloe, Dantes, Kelsey went down mid-game. Boston fouled out. Yeah, that's crazy. And still look to overtime. Took it to overtime. So much heart. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, I love to hear that, G. Yeah, I mean, I think the WNBA is just getting more notice and more recognized, and it's a great product and it's exciting. And this playoff has been really showing it, and that's fantastic. I can't wait for the tempo, man. I can't wait for the tempo. I'm wondering if any of these players going to be playing in the finals are going to be tempo players next year. Is somebody from the Aces or from the Mercury going to be a Toronto tempo next year? Maybe. That's right. Most saying happy October. Let's get NBA. Go Darko. That's right. It's October. I flipped the calendar. My Raptors calendar is showing RJ Barrett on it now. RJ Barrett is the October picture. And that's right. I see that today is the 1st of October, and we got open practice on the 3rd, and we got a Denver Nuggets game on the 6th. So you can do the math. What is it? Emmanuel Quickly 5. That's right. 9 to 5, baby. That's what we do. 9:30 to 5, 5th of October. That is when we will be seeing our draft. And then 5 days from now, we see the Denver Nuggets. That's right. Let's go. Hoping the Aces will win it all now. See, you're going for the Aces. See, I don't like that. I don't want the Aces to become too powerful a dynasty coming in this league because much like the NBA, if you have too much dynasty, it can hurt the product. You want to spread around the champions. And in some ways, what the NBA has done with Oklahoma City winning, Milwaukee winning, we winning, a lot of teams, Denver won their first one. This is good for the league. And in some ways, the Aces are going to just collect a ton of championships. It's boring. So go Phoenix Mercury. That's what I'm saying right now. That Canadian's here. Good to see you. A long-time Raptor freak. We haven't seen in a little while. That Canadian. Good to see you. Return. People underestimate how much energy constantly full court pressuring someone does to somebody. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's interesting for the evolution of basketball players. When we start watching basketball as people in our middle age, the teams weren't as skilled. There were role players that had certain skills, but basically you had to be tall and strong and somewhat athletic to play in the NBA. You could be a big white stiff at the end of the bench like John Concact and make millions of dollars in the NBA and not be athletic at all. But that's changed. The league has gotten more and more athletic as the decades have passed. And we see higher level skill in bigger players like Victor Wembanyama. And at this point, maybe the prerequisite going into the new era is you have to have breadth and crazy energy that you are willing to be crazy enough to go all out on full court press defense 48 minutes a game. And if you're not a player that's active enough, if you're too lazy, if you're like a Ben Simmons mentality, you're not going to make it in this league because it's not only that you have to be big, it's not only that you have to be skilled and talented, you have to have the gusto and the heart to put out that energy because the energy is demanded in all 30 teams at a certain point because that's just the way the game evolved. That we may be on the very edge of full court press is just normalized in the whole entire league. And if you're not doing it, you're not getting the best out of your team and you are at a disadvantage to compete and win. That's what I'm saying. If it gets to the point where certain teams are full court pressing like we are, and we are kicking so much ass because of it, everybody else will be forced to copycat it. And that could evolve how players come in the league. And if you're not willing to put in the effort, you're not going to make the league. That's how talented and crazy the youth is going to get internationally around the world and here in North America. It's like that. That Canadians salute. This is like coming back to school. We see a lot of people that we don't see during the summer come back right at the beginning of the season and check in with us. It's like, welcome back to school. Let's go. Let's go. It's fall. It's Raptors season coming up. And media day has gone by. And now we're in training camp. It's time to get back to work. And that Canadian is back, baby. That's right. Blackhawks saying, oh, happy October, Mo. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Chris comes saying, yo, Lex, who would you rather the Jays face, the Red Sox or the Yankees? The Red Sox. And it's basically because the Yankees are so cocky, they're already not letting Canadians buy tickets the next round. You ain't even in the next round yet. So let's go ahead and laugh at them. Make some shirts that say Yankees World Series champions and throw them in the trash. How about that? How about that, New York, with this bullshit? Where's Milbester? I want us to talk to Milbester. How come we ain't seen Milbester since Sunday? How come we ain't seen Milbester since Sunday? I want to talk to Yankee fan real quick. No, I'm definitely on the side of the Red Sox, and I want to see the Red Sox play the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays, yeah. Kaz is saying two-finger salute Eric Kareen. Yeah, this is wrong. First of all, it's like, who the hell are you, Eric Kareen? Are you in better shape than Jamal Shed? Seriously? Who the hell are you to say that? And man, he's just trying to give a compliment to his teammate, and you turned around and insulted him. Seriously. And Jamal was like very gracious about it. He's like, I don't know why I'm not in better shape than Emmanuel Quickly. Yeah, fuck you, Eric Kareen. That's what I'm saying right there. That Canadian saying Steph and Seth need to be a combo in Golden State would be kind of cool. I think it's very cool. It's a childhood dream. And I mean, look, Steph Curry is an icon. He's somebody who changed the league in a very real way. And he deserves the right to play with his brother if he wants to end his career. That probably is what he did. He probably came in the front office and said, Mike Dunleavy, I want to play with my brother. Can you go get him? Is Mike Dunleavy still there? I'm not even sure. But he's probably saying that. He's probably like, yeah, I want to play with my brother. You guys go get Seth. Bring him here. Because I'm not going to be here for much longer. I really do want to play a couple of years with my brother. So that'd be cool. Can you bring him in? Yeah, no big deal. Bring him in. Here he is. All right. You got your thonsis. You got your thonsis. It's just like that. That's right. Although Seth is younger, and in some ways he's really close to the end too. I'll bet you they walk off together. Seriously. I bet you if they retire, they're going to retire at the same time. and they'll go together. Nako's saying Golden State is the best California team. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. You know, in some ways, I'm looking at paper for the Clippers, and I'm like, man, if they are healthy, they could be a problem, but they're not going to be healthy. And they've got all kinds of old, crazy, weird players on there with Harden, Kawhi, and Bradley Beal, Chris Paul. You know, they're a very strange team this year, Clippers. They don't really have a youth movement unless you call Zubac that. And then, you know, I say don't sleep on Sacramento for some reason, some weird reason, just because it seems like nobody wants to be there and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Some reason I feel like DeMar's got a chip on his shoulder, and maybe you'll get with Dennis and Zach and DeMattis, and they might do something more special in Sacramento than we expect. Seriously, do not ever underestimate DeRozan Code and who DeMar DeRozan is and what he will do, even if he's not totally happy where he is and the situation is not the most ideal. I could see them making things click in some ways, partly because Dennis is there, partly because Dennis is there with them. And, you know, Dennis plays really well with players like Sabonis. Dennis and DeMattis may be a very nice combo this year, guys. So don't sleep on Sacramento. I don't want to give any credit to the LA teams or Golden State. Golden State's got a lot of older players, and they're going to get run off the floor. Seriously, they're going to get run off the floor. That's right. Dak Canadian saying, speaking of the Clips, would love to see what's going on with Kawhi right now. Yeah, he's done these interviews. He got a little snappy with Ramona at the press conference and kept asking about aspiration. He said that he didn't get paid all his money from aspiration, and they conned him. In some ways, he said everything that sounds like he's guilty still. Everybody's analyzing this like crazy. This is a real thing that Pablo Torre uncovered here. And in some ways, the NBA needs to be very careful about how they handle this once again. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? In some ways, it's like, Kawhi, you're an idiot. Uncle Dennis, you're an idiot. And Steve Ballmer, you're an idiot too. But yeah, it may be that nothing happens to them. But he definitely got grilled about it at Media Day. And that was awkward, man. That was awkward. The whole thing about that. You're going to have to talk to the media, Kawhi. Oh, great. Yeah, they're going to ask you about aspiration. They're going to ask you about it. That's right. That's right. Fiercey's got that starting lineup out there. Look at that. IQ, RJ, BI, Scotty, Jakob, and there's the coach, Darko. I love it. I love it. I love it. That Canadian say, what seed do you think we can make if we stay healthy? Fourth and higher. Yeah. Yeah, I'll bet you Cleveland might be higher than us, maybe New York, and then we're going to be right around there. Other people are giving Orlando too much just from the Desmond Bane move. Atlanta is not going to be good, guys. I don't care how many new players they got on that team. That team is messed up still, and they're going to talk about Atlanta this, Atlanta that. Detroit may take a step back this year because they lost some veteran leadership from last year, and I don't know if they're going to be that much better this year. So everybody talking up Atlanta, Orlando, and Detroit need to stop and start talking about Toronto. That's what I say right there, because we're going to be better than all three of those teams. Watch, we're going to be better than all three of them. Mark Tavares saying, "Damn right, let's go." He's all hyped for Friday, baby. He's going to be taking his kids down to the open practice in Calgary. Scotty Barnes, please, if you hear the guys yelling "Raptor Freak" at the side of the court, go say hi and take a picture with them. Please, please do it for our Calgary Raptor freaks who don't get the chance to see you very often coming through the province of Alberta. Please, Scotty, come take a picture with Mark Tavares. And, the code word is Raptors Freak. If you hear them say that, if you see the shirt Seymour is wearing, come over and say hi. Please, please do it. Cool Cat saying good morning. Good morning to Coach Cool Cat. I hope that she's doing very well. I've been wondering about you. I wondered about Fiercey. Different things going on with you guys. I hope that both of y'all are very safe, healthy, and doing very, very well. Cool Cat, always thinking of you. Smooth saying Seth Curry with the Warriors, redundant move. It is redundant, but it's nice. It's a nice little feel. They don't have to spend a lot of money to get him in there. And, it's just something nice for Steph. He's an icon for that franchise. In fact, he may be the most important Golden State Warrior ever in the history of the Warriors. Seriously. So that's the least you can do for somebody like that. He wants to play with his brother. His brother is a bona fide NBA player. It's not like his brother is just some Joe Schmo that's taking up a spot, Bronny James. So it's like, Seth being on the team with Steph is just nice. I know you're right, though. It is redundant. You're right. Randolph's here. Blessed, beloved, Raptor Freak family. Blessings. Every time you breathe in and out, be grateful. Then look around and appreciate your senses, body, others, and nature. Life is beautiful and worth living. I love that. I love that. There's a really strong contingency of trying to depress us in the media right now, there's a lot of bad things happening. It's for real, and it is happening, and it's really bad. But we have to, in some ways, an act of rebellion is carving out your own piece of happiness in the whole scheme of this crazy, stupid ass shit going on right now. If you can find your solace, if you can find your peace, if you can find a place where you can be happy, go to it. If it's your garden, if it's just a nice long walk through the woods, if it's doing your favorite activity where you lose your brain and you just turn it off and you just get into the thing that you're doing, whether it's painting or creating, go to your happy places. In some ways, they're trying to make us feel sad and upset and outraged because they're doing such audaciously evil things. That's by design. So in some ways, an act of rebellion in this world is to enjoy yourself and have a good time. But don't be an innocent sheep. You need to be aware of what's going on out there still. And, when the time comes, you do what's right in that moment to do the right thing. But until then, if you are able to carve out solace and peace for yourself, do it. Do it. Because in some ways, that's rebellion in this world where they're trying to make everybody hate and fear and be scared and turn into not human kind of mentalities. It's not human to hate other people. It's not Christ-like to not have seats at the table for everyone. It is not a Christian to be anti-immigrant. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. Jesus is an immigrant himself. How are you going to be like that? That's right. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Randolph, for your words of wisdom. Blessings to the Phillips family and all the Rapid Freak families. That's right. Mark Tavares saying January 15th. Isn't the trade deadline mid-February? I think it's somewhere around there. I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know why he said January 15th. I mean, I think it's right around January 15th or February. But I don't know. Either way, Eric Kareen, you snarky little bitch with your dumbass January 15th comment. That's right. Roger Raymond saying, way to go, Lex. You tell him like it is. There you go. Yeah. In some ways, look, we're watching you guys. I know all about you, press. I've studied the NBA refs. I studied the Raptors press. I know all about you guys, all y'all in there. And I'm starting to learn your names since they're calling them out with the press people now. In some ways, they want to figure out whose hot mic moment it is. Well, we got to know. We don't want to accuse Raptors press members wrongly of saying something crazy. So any apologies to people that were wrongly accused for the Scotty hot mic moment last year? Well, we know who it was now because they're starting to announce the names when they come to the questions. And we can tell who you are by your voices, especially you, Zesty Eric. Seriously, I'm just sick of it, man. In some ways, I was like, I don't like people making fun of Eric Kareen for his voice because it is goofy as fuck and it is stupid as hell. But in some ways, you've gone across the line now of being a hater and talking your shit. So now I am going to attack you, Eric Kareen. In the past, I may have kind of protected you to some degrees from Raptors Nation, making funny comments about you. But at this point, fuck you, Eric, with your bullshit, being snarky, and go drink water and get some more sleep. How about that? That's what I say right there. Fiercely saying, someone check on Milbester. But anyhow, it's so nice to talk Raptors basketball. Let's go. That's right. We're back in business, baby. And I feel like I've made it through the long marathon of the offseason, and now I'm home free. Because in some ways, now we've got Raptors basketball, and I do the training camp reports this week, and then we do the draft on Sunday, and then boom, it's previews and reactions, pretty much going right on through October until the season starts. And wow, then when this season's over, I don't have to go into really weird offseason next year because we'll have the tempo, and I'll be covering the Toronto tempo very intensely like I do the Toronto Raptors. And it's going to be really easier to do content next summer, because I'll focus heavily on the tempo schedule and we'll do the bits about the offseason for the Raptors also. So, man, I feel like I got to the finish line to a degree yesterday or on Monday because I finally got to Media Day 2025. Man, it is a haul. This summer was tough, man, especially this last September and August. Making content every single morning around basketball and the Raptors and just in general has not been easy, guys. And I apologize if the quality of some of the streams and some of the content that I've been doing in the last 2 months hasn't been totally the best in some ways. It's just I got to make it through, right? That's it. Yeah. Roger Raymond saying this power rankings of dirtbags. God damn, these journalists better stop their BS. Otherwise, you will completely expose them and their bias against Raptors players like our Star J. Yeah, I'm just sick of it. Show respect to these guys. Seriously, they're nice people. They show respect to you. You should show respect back to them. They're giving you the time of day. You're talking to them. Have they been asshole to you like Kyle Lowry? No, they haven't. RJ's been very nice. He stepped to the plate and he said, I want to talk to you guys. I like you guys. And then they all started turning like jackals, saying, oh, you like us now. Well, we're the assholes that are going to stab you in the back with our pens to paper in our articles. I mean, seriously, what is this, y'all? Seriously. Remember this, guys. Press. You guys write for a different nation, Raptors Nation, than Leafs Nation. Leafs Nation may be cynical, negative, and full of shit and love the toxic articles y'all write about the Leafs. But Raptors Nation ain't having that. We are a healthy ecosystem, and we want our team to succeed and go towards Larry O'Brien without any excess bullshit. So this is how we get quality control. We got to watch you guys like Doug Smith and Michael Grange and make sure you're coming correct with your questions and how you're respecting the coach and the players. And if you ain't doing it, well, the fans can call you out. And if you don't want the fans to hate your ass or talk shit about you on Reddit and other social media places or me just on my channel, maybe you get your act together. Maybe you write content and you write articles and you do things for what the public wants that cares about the Raptors. And you stop gaslighting. You stop writing ineffectual shit. You start writing stuff that's not trying to scare people about the salary cap. You start writing about the players. You start writing about the basketball. You start writing about the feel-good stories. And you stop writing about toxic ass shit and trying to tear things apart. Because we ain't the Leafs. And we ain't having it. Red Nation, Raptors Red Nation. No, we ain't having that Blue Nation bullshit that you guys do with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Because y'all have gotten in the way of Stanley Cups for that team. And I'm damn for sure not letting Eric Kareen, Michael Grange, and their bullshit of trying to be toxic around our team get in the way of the next Larry O'Brien for the Raptors. So I'll call them on this, and I'll talk about it on this every day. And Eric Kareen, you're on the shit list for today with your bullshit, man. With your bullshit. That's right. Trevor J saying, love surrounds you, faith guides you, and gratitude fills you. Then you are richer than gold could ever make you. I believe in this. You know, the chases of money and financials and riches, you know, if that makes you feel good, that's a hollow feeling. That ain't going to sustain you or give you any kind of good happiness that's real in your life. It don't mean jack shit. You got to figure out where the wealth is. And the wealth may be in your time. The wealth may be in your relationships and love and connection to others. The wealth may be in the skills that you enjoy from doing the thing that you like to do when you tune out your brain and you just enjoy doing something. There's wealth in all kinds of other areas in our life that can be derived. And if you sit in those places of wealth, it doesn't matter what the rest of the world's wealth is and what they look at as being wealthy. Because in some ways, yours is more real and tangible in your own life, and you're feeling and reveling in it. And all that financial wealth and all that, that's so hollow and empty. It really, really is. And I believe in what Trevor's saying. Love is wealth. Faith guides you. Gratitude fills you. And you're richer than gold could ever make you. Wow, Trevor, coming with a double hit on the words of wisdom. We love you, Trevor. Blessings to the Jones family and all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. G saying that RJ was their top scorer last year. In what world does the top scorer come off the bench? The starters are the best players against the best players. You know, there is some strategic reasons to maybe have RJ come off the bench, but we don't know what Darko would be thinking or whether he'd be willing to do that. We just have to see how it all develops. And in some ways, I agree with G. It's like this dude was our leading scorer. This is not having to be a Ricky Pierce situation where we got our best scorer coming off the bench as a sixth man. Because in some ways, he is that right now until Brandon Ingram comes back and shows he's fully healthy and he can be competing every night, night in, night out. If Brandon probably will be our best scorer because he will be healthy and he will be able to do this. But RJ is still de facto our best scorer right now until Brandon comes for real and shows up and tangibly does it on the court. I won't give it to him until I see him do it because there's nothing guaranteed or promised in this world. And forgive me, I've seen Akeem Olajuwon on this team. So let me just say that. Shaq Lindsay's here. Good morning, Shaq Lindsay. Thank you, Shaq and Roger Raymond and Neil and Fiercey for supporting this channel as members. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all you. Morning, everyone. One Raptors Fan Club is all podcasts. That's right. Trust me, I know from experience, Pensero. Listen, this is the thing. Pensair wants to be a Scotty fanboy. That's fine. I love that about it. You be a Scotty fanboy. Pensair wants to go after Fred VanVleet. No. That's no good then. That's no good then. Either way, he who shall not be named is a different flavor of YouTube than me. In some ways, his objectives and what he's trying to do on his channel are more self-serving than mine. I'm here as an information beacon for Raptors Nation to get it straight and just to have fun. I'm not here for your subscriptions and all the money. I'm not here. Pensair wants to make money off his channel. That's why he does what he does. I'm here purely for the passion as a Raptors fan like you guys are, and sharing our passion and talking about it and getting an outlet to have the fun and enthusiasm together. And that's what it's all about. And I appreciate that, Shaq Lindsay. He went to the live stream for Pensair on Media Day, and he's just like, man, this pales in comparison to what happens on the Raptor Freak channel on 9:30 a.m. every single day. And I appreciate that. That's a huge compliment. And I mean, in some ways, it's like, look, you want to come and talk to me, Robert, on a basketball level? I can talk X's and O's and stuff like that with you. You want to talk about a culture level? Woo-wee! I can talk about that. You want to talk about a history level with the Raptors? Okay. Nobody better than this guy right here, who's a 50-year-old man who's been here for the whole 30 years of the Raptors and seen every single bit of it as a very, very, very intense fan right from the start in 1994. So, yeah, you go ahead, Robert. Step up to the podium. We could talk about Raptors anytime, and I will show you just exactly where I'm at with the whole thing. That's right. RaptorsFreak@AOL.com, the first ever email address I got in like 1996, y'all. That was my email address in 96, RaptorsFreak@AOL.com. So this is not a new moniker for Lex. The channel may have started in 2021, but I have been the Raptors Freak since the very beginning. That's right. That's right. I got receipts on that too. Most saying this, DeMar just dropped this summer off-season video. I saw that on YouTube. DeMar dropped a little black and white short. It was like maybe under 5 minutes clip. And yeah, I didn't watch it yet, but I should watch it. Thank you for posting in the chat. And yeah, we love DeMar, one of our groats. And I wish him all the luck in the world in Sacramento. In some ways, I'm rooting for you guys because DeMar and Dennis are two of my favorite players in the NBA. And I want to see them do well in Sacramento because nobody expects them to. And I want to see some surprises out of them. I do. I really want to see it. Wayne's here. Good morning to Wayne Strainer, our sergeant at arms for the channel. Morning, Raptor Freaks. Detractors of RJ don't understand a balanced offense. RJ's lefty tendencies create matchup issues around the basket. Mamu, I'm excited to see in our bench mob, a true flexible big. You know, this is great. You know, during the summer, we were very worried about backup big. And Bobby made it very clear in his interview with Kate Burness that was a big acquisition getting Sandro this past summer. And if you think about what the Raptors have had for backup center in the last couple of years, Kelly Olynyk, okay. Kelly Olynyk had his limitations. And, you know, but he had some really cool, awesome skills, too, that he could teach Scotty and Grady and a couple of the other guys while he's around. You know, some dirty play, some flopping, things like that. But, you know, Kelly in some ways wasn't a true center. And then we brought in these two guys last year in Castleton and Robinson. And both of them young, both of them like to different degrees of some sort of promise. But either one, you know, kind of feeling like, you know what, we could do better. And I think that's what Bobby did. I think that that's part of the reason why we weren't worried about holding on to Rob or Castleton in Summer League, because he was like, you know what, with our money and our cap this summer, let's go ahead and slot that backup center role with a higher talent, with a little bit more money. And who's on the market? Oh, I like this. Darko, do you like the kid from Georgia, Sandro Mamukelashvili? Oh, yes, I know Sandro. He played for Eurobasket for Georgia. We should get him. He's good. He would fit with us. He's a good passer. Yeah, okay. All right, let me call his guys. Boom, a free agency signing, Sandro Mamu to Toronto. Boom. And we get a higher quality backup center in some ways more than Kelly and more than those two guys from last year, guys. That's the thing. We can expect more contributions in a solid way from Sandro Mamu. And the way that Darko's talking about him, he's saying he wants to see him grow as a young player. We got to remember, Mamu is not that old. He's a younger guy still, and he's already playing bona fide NBA quality minutes, but he can still have some jumps with his game. Now, the big thing with Sandro right now is getting him up to speed with the Raptors' defensive system and getting him acclimated and orientated. And that's the most important thing. But if he sticks around for a little while and Darko and his coaches get a development regime for him going up, he could really make some leaps as a player in some ways, and in different ways than somebody like Colin or Orlando, because he's already playing at a good NBA standard of excellence. Seriously, like when he was in Milwaukee and San Antonio, Sandro was playing big minutes, rotation minutes, and sometimes starting. And that's the thing. That's going to be a lot different this year. Plus, I like the fact that he can play some pretty good defensive five, but still, he's as versatile as he can still bring the ball up the court and dribble it. Okay. He did it for Georgia a lot this summer, guys. He was playing guard at times for Georgia. It was crazy. So Sandro is going to be a very good addition to us because he's going to be a different look than Yak at center, but also he's going to be a little bit of an upgrade at that position, backup center, than what we've had in the last couple of years. Jonte was interesting. He could have been something, but Jonte threw his life away. And that's too bad. That's too bad. That's right. That's right. So, yeah, I'm all about Mamu. That's right. Kaloy's here. Carlo JS, good morning. Lex and Raptor Freak fam. Did anyone see Scotty in any of the videos yesterday? Yes. Scotty is in Calgary. There are pictures of Scotty in the first team jersey, the OVO black with the red letter on it. Brandon's wearing it too. So, yeah, there are pictures of him on official Raptors admin. I, for a second, was worried that he didn't come too right away. But no, the whole team traveled together. Everybody, one for all, win for all. And they're all there. There's no special treatment. Scotty's not like that. Scotty's not trying to stratify himself above the rest of the team as the franchise face, as the main guy. No, he's all for one for all. He's there with them. It would look bad if he was trying to do LeBron shit and just cruising into training camp 3 days after it started. He's done this in the past. There was a little bit of him coming delayed to training camp in the last couple of years, but not this year. He went straight there with them in Alberta, and he was there yesterday putting in work. So that is confirmed right there. That's right. Monica saying more media photos of Brandon are out by Mark Belinch. Cool. Very, very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, I like all the pictures. Very artistic. The black and white, different people doing good stuff. Raptors admin, I get on to you guys in some ways, but in some ways also, you're all right. I seen that Raptors media marketing day video with Grady Dick. That's jokes. That's a little allusion to last year's marketing day that I called them out on it. So yeah, I am that dude, man. I came in last year for media day. They named the stream Raptors marketing day, and I got pissed. I started saying, what is marketing day? Nobody calls this shit marketing day. And marketing day, that sounds like an insider. Like it really kind of makes this different. No, we want media day. It's called Media Day. And I said that. And I think whoever set up the stream was like, oh, crap, maybe this isn't the term we should use in the public, but behind the scenes, we can call this Raptors Marketing Day on Monday. But no, it's Raptors Media Day to the fans. And, well, Grady called it Raptors Marketing Day in the last day, walking in and stuff like that. So on the inside, they call it Marketing Day. But everybody's always known it in the NBA when the teams show up and they do the interviews as Media Day. And that's why Kayla Gray's doing her interviews. And it looks like she did a bunch of them that we're not going to see yet. They'll be shown on TSN, I'm sure, in little vignettes around the game broadcast. But yeah, I was very happy to see Kayla get her interviews in. In some ways, I worry about some of our broadcasters and being around. Savannah Hamilton got let go, and that kind of pissed me off. So I was a little worried about Kayla Gray. And Kayla, you look fantastic. I could tell you did some changes this summer as far as your appearance. And you have glowed up, that's for sure. And all respect and amazing stuff to Kayla Gray, someone who's been covering the Raptors for a long, long time. And she's fun. She's been her own brand of who she is, and she's fantastic. Honestly, I've grown to like Kayla more and more over the years, and I really appreciate her for being kind of a fun person around the Raptors. So I'm looking forward to your interviews with the team after Media Day. G saying Kawhi's retirement statue may be a tree, like aspiration. Oh, G. All right. I'll give you a dunk for that. You're going to say that Kawhi's retirement may be a tree. Oh, man. Yeah, Steve Ballmer and Kawhi, they want this to go away, but Ramona Shelburne ain't letting it go. That's right. 57 for G for that one. So good. Wayne saying this, baseball analysts opine that Blue Jays match up best against the Yankees. Boston owned the Blue Jays during the season, so we should be cheering for the Yankees over the Red Sox. Baseball fans are okay. To me, I don't care. I would like the Blue Jays to have the toughest test because seriously, they're going to have to beat everybody to get the World Series. So let's not shy away from the tougher opponent from this past season. No, fuck the Yankees. We want them out. Get them out. We don't want New York doing some crazy convoluted shit and beating the Blue Jays. If we lose the Red Sox, well, that was meant to be. But honestly, I don't want the easier path. In some ways, we shouldn't wish for the easier path just because of how we played against these two teams in the regular season. No, I want the Red Sox because fuck the Yankees and their bullshit. That's what I say right there. That's what I say right there. Neil's saying Lex ain't new to this. He's true to this. That's right. That's right. And I mean, if I'm going to talk about this every morning for 4 years straight, I better know what I'm talking about. Seriously. Or I should just stop, right? I should just stop. All right, let me go check on my tabs, guys. You know what? I messed up yesterday. I didn't do the straight goods on Canadian goods yesterday. I forgot a segment. But I wanted to talk about Maple Leaf Foods, guys. I know it's kind of a big Canadian corporation, a food corporation, and they have a lot of the market, but they are truly 100% Canadian. Maple Leaf is a Canadian food company with significant bakery operations and Canadian-based manufacturing. So if you're buying the label Maple Leaf Foods, you are buying Canadian. And that is what we want to try and do more and more right now. You know, if you're not going to buy Canadian, buy internationally, but not American, obviously, right now. So don't go to McDonald's, don't go to Starbucks, don't buy Coca-Cola. Go and get your Maple Leaf bacon, Maple Leaf hot dogs and buns, whatever you want. Maple Leaf is a good brand to buy for buying Canadian. That's your straight goods on Canadian goods right there. Once again, that's right. We are having our draft on Sunday for our fantasy league. So come on in if you're one of the 16 teams. Garrett Temple on Instagram stories, posting the picture of him and Scott. You know, in some ways that's cool, man. Old man Garrett being like 38, he's showing himself with young Scott Wayne, and that makes him pretty cool. That's a very different generation between Scotty and Garrett. And it really is like, you know, Michael Grange, why are you saying you're almost a vet to Scotty? That man's a vet. You know he's a vet. Don't disgrade him like that. I said to Scott after his rookie year, it's like you're a vet right away now. It's like 1 year as a rookie and you're a vet immediately. That's how it is. It's just how it is. So don't disrespect Scott. He's a real vet. Pascal Siakam's entering year 10 with the NBA, and he's on the Pacers. There's some cool artsy pictures that Pascal's taken, black and white in the entryway with all the pictures on the wall. Yeah, Siakam's really got some cool pictures, man. They really know how to use light and form and stuff like that. He's just cool, man. He's taking pictures himself at media day, of course. That's what he does. He's a I don't even think he's an amateur photographer at this point. He's professional. He's a professional. Yes, sirs. That's what they say. The yes, sirs. They took a picture of Sandro Mamu's tattoo on Raptors official admin, and he reposted it. He has a bullseye on his elbow there. Yeah, but yeah, Sandro Mamu, we're expecting big things from you, Georgian. That's right. Savannah Hamilton's got Collier's press conference talking about the commissioner, Kathy. And wow, Savannah's like, this is insane. Like what she's saying, she's just blatantly saying it. But there's, you know what? It's great that she said it and she's being public about it and she's getting a lot of support because she's exactly right. Fee is right. And the WNBA better listen to her. She's one of the best players in this league. And they need to listen to her right now. And I'm telling you right now, Adam Silver, you may need to go get a new commissioner very, very soon because the old commissioner is getting outgrown is basically what I'm seeing here. The old commissioner is getting outgrown by the league that she's been in charge of for years now. And maybe her vision is limited to what she's done in the era that she's in. And you need somebody with a grander vision to go and do this right. So seriously, Adam Silver, you may need to figure this out. Seriously, man. Seriously. Norman Powell in the Miami Heat gear, and he's with Eric Spoelstra also. It's just how it is, man. And Norman is a Heat nation. And you know what? He's down there with Davion. So, yeah, we'll have to see how the Heat are this year. There's the Raptor running around with different Raptors like Grady at Media Day. He's got different little pictures, and he is messing with Sandra Mamu. Yeah, the Raptor, you're awesome, man. Raptor, how many years now, man? 31st year as a Raptor mascot? Wow, man. That's 31 years of doing it, man. Amazing. Jonathan Mobo posting a black and white picture of the guys sitting on the bench. We see Brandon Jamal himself. That looks like Olivier Sarr and AJ Lawson all in a row right there. Of course, Jamal Shed talking about David Roddy, told him to go look up Banff on TikTok and that he's going to Banff. And they said, oh, you can be worried about bears. And Jamal Shed said, no, I'm going to be there with David Roddy. Have you seen him? He looks like a bear himself. AJ Lawson posting the picture, the same picture as Jonathan. Jamal Shedge posting a picture of him and Elijah Martin from Monday, the media day. Yeah, and cheesy smiles abound between Grady, Jacoby, and Jamal around media day. Lots of cheesy smiling. Very much. Back to it. Let's go, Jamal. That's right. Grady did a little thing where he filmed himself on media day getting up and said, it's time to go to media day. And I'm going to put on my school bus shoes. He called them slippers. But, man, those shoes were crazy, man. Did you see the yellow shoes that Grady wore to media day? They looked like some sort of origami shoes. Like they were folded paper, yellow folded school bus paper. I don't know. Either way, Grady, those shoes are nice. They're nice. I've never seen anybody wear shoes like that. Can you wear those shoes in the game? Or will the sweat break the paper? I don't know. Grady, either way, you're fun. And thanks for letting them come in there. You know, guys, we wondered if Emmanuel did his little task that Akil asked him to. I'm pretty damn for sure RJ did not say Mandem in his interview, media day. I don't think he said Mandem. He did not complete the task. He probably totally forgot about Akil's silly little game. But apparently, Emmanuel did come back and say Lickle. He came back. He like left the podium, and we saw that, and they cut it off. But then he walked back, apparently. They have footage of him walking back, and he said, oh, I forgot to do this for a bet. Lickle. And then he just said it and walked away. I don't know. In some ways, Raptors admin had to make sure they circled back so everybody saw that Emmanuel did come through for Akil's weird little password game that he was playing. But yeah, Emmanuel came through and did it. At least he remembered to do it, but he was a little late to remember to do it. A little late. There was something weird that happened at the press scrum yesterday with Darko's interview. Samson Falk was trying to ask a question to Darko about being in Calgary. And the media lady, she's a nice lady. I like her a lot. I'm not going to mad at her for this. But in some ways, she was very rude to Samson yesterday. She shut him down and said, Samson, shut up. You get to ask questions all week because you're going to be here all week and ask Darko tomorrow. This is a local reporter that just came today, and they need to ask their question for the local media. So, Samson, shut up. That's basically what happened in the Darko interview yesterday. You can see it. It's still up on the clip if you will watch it. But like the lady, she's a nice lady. Honestly, she does such a good job of bringing the players in and telling them that they're done. One more question, you're out. I mean, I seen her. She's awesome. She's awesome. I have no problem with what she does. And in some ways, she's just looking out so that local media could get the question on Darko. And she's like, but it's funny. They must be familiar and cool with each other because she was totally rude to Samson. I'm not going to lie. She was totally rude to Samson. And in some ways, Raptors fans are like, why were they so rude to Samson? Like, why can't they be rude to Eric Kareen? Next time when Eric starts talking, could you do that to him instead? Seriously, please do that. I think her name's Michelle. I'm not totally sure what her name is, but could you do that to Eric Kareen instead? Just shut him down. Maybe Michael Grange, Darko, Michael Grange, shut up. You don't ask the question. We got a Calgary reporter is here today. We got to have them ask the question. That was just a little funny thing. I catch everything, guys. I'm watching everything. I can see what's happening. That's right. There's a picture of Brandon on Raptors at Men when this number 3, notorious BI3, guys. It's going to be notoriously good for us. Eric Smith taking pictures at the very interesting gym in Calgary. There he is with Michael Grange talking on the mics about the training day camp and stuff like that. University of Calgary is where they're set up at. Elijah Martin's remembering his Florida Gators days yesterday, and he's got a picture of him with his buddy. It's his birthday. I guess it's Ruben's birthday. Ruben's birthday is what the thing was. There's Mohamedou Gay. He's in the Chicago Bulls jersey, number 16. We see that Mohamedou has been picked up by the Bulls, and he's on their training camp roster right now. There's Coach Andrew Jones coming into his year 12 in the NBA. That's fantastic. Grady's got his morning routine on his Instagram put up. Very cool. School bus shoes. Gary Trent Jr. in the Milwaukee Bucks gear. And there's Matt Devlin showing a surveying shot of the whole training camp. And I'm going to tell the truth, Matt Devlin. This was the first clip I saw from training camp yesterday. And I watched your TikTok story probably about 100 times. And I looked at it really closely at each individual to see where everybody was. I really went over Matt Devlin's TikTok like with a fine-tooth comb because I wanted to see every position and who was there and who was where and doing what and the whole thing. So thank you, Matt Devlin, for being eyes in the sky and giving us some eyes on what's going on in training camp. And thank you to Raptors Republic guys And also, hello and welcome, guys. Also, you guys have been all stars in this. When I talk about the press, you guys have been up and down. William Liu, we have our history, but for the most part, I feel like you and Alex Wan are very, very important people in the Raptors media. Samson Folk is an all-star. I love Samson Folk. Samson Folk has always been very good, and S is an interesting guy with his dalliances and CEBL and 905 and stuff like that. But yeah, Samson Folk, much respect. Hello and welcome podcast. You guys are awesome. Thank you for airing the unaired Korean comment on your channel. You guys can go see it. I thought that Eugenio Maroy was back in Canada because he's at Coca-Cola Arena. I was like, whoa, is Eugene back in Toronto? But I didn't realize Coca-Cola Arena is in Dubai. So he's still there. It could very well be, I've misjudged this, that Eugene is not in Dubai for vacation. He actually is playing professional basketball there because I think he's showing up for a team, an arena that he may be playing for. I don't know. Either way, Eugene Maroy, we always wish you the best, Canadian superstar. That's right. And Toronto Tempo, finally, they've got the Aboriginal Sports Circle, very much active with the Day of Reconciliation and Truth yesterday. Very, very important day. And thank you to Prime Minister Mark Carney and the Canadian government for recognizing Orange Day yesterday and all the activities and all the awareness and all the things for supporting Indigenous people and the history and coming to reconciliation about the past. Thank you. Thank you, WNBA. Thank you, Mark Carney. That's what I'm saying right there. There's your Instagram stories for today. There you go. There you go, man. That's right. Kareem's here. Good to see our butt dialer. Milbester will be mad, be a Met fan by the end of the week. Poor guy's stripes are getting dusted by the stinky socks. Yeah. I mean, he was hedging his bets already when he was in here. He was trying to talk about NL playoffs. And I was like, bro, I'm not doing National League. I only talk Blue Jays, and that's Toronto. That's it. I'm not talking National League. I don't care about the Reds and the Mets. Don't bring me that garbage. Get that garbage out of here, Jack Armstrong. So it's just like, yeah. Milbester, where are you? We haven't seen you since Saturday. Where are you, Milbester? Monique saying year 11 for Norm. That's crazy, man. That makes you think, man. That's right, because he was a year ahead of Yak and Pascal. So, yeah, they're year 10, and he's year 11. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that was another dumb question that Eric Kareen had this week. Jakob, how has your game changed now that you're 30? Oh, my gosh. I'll say he messed up Brandon's quote. He's trying to ask IQ about what Brandon said at Media Day. It's like, look, all right, this is what they asked Brandon. Let's clear this up. Eric Kareen, in some ways, you got to just clear shit up, man, because you're goofy with how you ask things. All right. They asked Brandon Ingram about having to prove something because he hasn't played since December last year. And Brandon said, I don't feel like I have to prove anything to anybody. I'm proving things to myself. And then Eric Kareen comes around and asks IQ yesterday, IQ, Brendan said yesterday that when you try to impress other people, it doesn't go very well. That's not what he said. That's not what he fucking said, Eric Kareen. He said that he's not worried about impressing other people or caring what people think about coming back. He's only caring about proving to himself that he can come back and be that player again. So don't twist words and don't make up your bullshit. And why would you say, and Brandon said when you try to impress other people, it doesn't work or something. It doesn't end up good or something like some bullshit. Whatever. Man, press, y'all should be all about facts and getting shit straight and actually contextualizing and saying what people said correctly and not attributing comments to people that are not exactly what they said. Seriously. I'm doing this by hearsay. I'm saying this off the top of my head. I try to get this as correct as possible. If Jakob says we're coming to attack the season, I want to make sure I say it exactly how he would say it. I'm not trying to misrepresent people like some of the press are, twisting words and saying bullshit like that. That's right. That's right. James is saying Norm is going to get the ball a lot more now that Tyler Hero is injured. Yeah, that's probably true. I'm really confused about Miami in some ways. I see Andrew Wiggins is ready to go this year. We'll just have to see what's going on in Miami. They have a really tough schedule, and they're going to be missing key players at the beginning of the year. They're going to struggle right from the start. Watch. They're going to struggle. Kareem saying Samson and Raptors Republic with the great coverage in the ear on the street for us. I did see the producer from Hello and Welcome with boots on the ground in Calgary also. Amazing footage. Yeah, I appreciate these guys. In some ways, it's like Hello and Welcome seemed like they were going to be coming out with the interviews, but no, Raptors admin came out and put them on the official channel too, because they came out on Will Lou's channel before they came out on Toronto Raptors official. And in some ways, Will Lou and Alex Wong and them putting it out, the unedited version, is the reason why we heard Eric Kareem's stupid ass comment about January 15th. Man, the Raptors cut that shit out because they cut that whole part out when RJ came up and said, yeah, I like you guys. And they said, why you like us? Josh Lindbergh is like, you like us now. Don't be like that, Josh. Let RJ like you. And you should like RJ too. Come on, you're from Toronto, aren't you, Josh? You can't love RJ Barrett on the down low, even though you're trying to be professional and impartial. You can still love RJ on the down low and feel good about his story. Come on, Josh, have a heart. Have a heart. You're a dad now. Come on, have a heart, Josh Lindbergh, and be okay with loving RJ. Come on, you don't have to be an asshole to him. Come on now, like Eric Kareem. Wayne Stranger saying the Miami Heat will. Oh, is Mil Bester here? Okay, hang on. The Miami Heat with 3 former Raptors, one of whom is a returnee, is kind of unique. Trent Jr. isn't here anymore, and I have noticed Norm isn't that motivated to beat us as much. No, I mean, when Norm plays us, he plays all out to come against us. It's just the way he plays every time. I don't think it had anything to do with Gary. Gary was just the other person that came in the other direction. It wasn't like he was personally taking an offense with Gary. I think that Norman was just sad that the Raptors did not want to continue with him. He really did expect us to be here. And he's on some level of like, I want to be a Raptors for life, like Pascal and DeMar did too. And in some ways, that's the sad part. It was really that Norman loved playing in Toronto. He didn't want to leave. I don't think he has disdain for Gary Trent Jr. personally, because he understands it's not Gary's fault. It was just the way things went. So I think that Norman gets up and goes at every team he plays against. Maybe he did go up against the Raptors a little harder after we traded him to Portland. But I don't think there's anything different, that he's just grinding against everyone. I think he does this against everyone. He just is like that, you know. Jeremy Lin saying he's the hardest working player you ever played with recently in an interview. That was very interesting. Let's see what else y'all are saying. Cream saying, gee, we could retire a coactus tree for Kawhi. Unfortunately, it will die in the winter. You guys are weird, man. You're going to retire a tree for Kawhi because of aspiration. Hilarious. I would give you a dunk, but I expect a higher quality of this. I expect a higher quality, Kareem. You're on another playing level. In some ways, we need you to go higher. That's right. Kaloy's saying, I want to swim in Milbester's tears. All right. See, that got me to laugh outright right there. So I'm going to give Kaloy a dunk for that one, because in some ways that's hilarious. Carlo JS. Oh my gosh, man. You got me to laugh out loud. And I love that. 94 for Mr. Kaloy. Wow, that was good. He wants to swim in Milbester's tears. Just kidding, Yankees freak. Y'all still have a chance tonight. We'll have to see what happens. I guess it's better for the Blue Jays if the Yankees win, but in some ways, I'd rather see the Red Sox just to shut the Yankees nation up. That's what I'm saying right there. Kareem saying, while Kaloy will be swimming, I'm surfing in Milbester's tears. All right. I see how you did this. You took what he did, which got to laugh out loud, and you turned it up a notch. You're going to be surfing. All right. I'm going to give you a dunk, Kareem. You got one. But yeah, that's kind of piggybacking on Kaloy there, though. 227. Look at that. You got the great show by Marla Gibbs and Jack A. 227 right there. That's right. Monique is saying this: W stream, W vibes, go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. Yeah, I got 15 minutes. Thank you for the cutoff, Mo. Just slow down the stream so I can get out of here at 2 hours. Strong forever, just helping Lex limit the comments. That's what the producer does. That's what the great Monique Lawrence does to help me on this channel. She helps me with the cutoff. The scissors show up, guys. You're supposed to respect that and try not to give me more comments so that we can finish up the stream. And I appreciate that. Kareem saying he always interrupts the stream with Yankees talk, but I don't see him anymore. Yeah, he hadn't been here since Saturday morning. He was here Saturday, and he had a lot to say at that point. He was really feeling like Yankees were going to still win the AL East pennant on the last day of the season. Well, I told him it's not up to you. It's up to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays win their game. They win it because they got the tiebreaker. And you have nothing to do with it, Yankees. Even if you win your game, it don't matter if the Blue Jays win. If the Blue Jays win it, you ain't getting nothing because they won, and they did. And that's right. That's it. That's how it is. Reggie's saying, if the Yankees win tonight, you will see him on tomorrow. Probably. You might be right. You might be very much right, Reggie. I could see that. Kaloy's laughing. Yeah, training camp and YYC. That's right. Seymour is in the YYC. Seymour is our man on the scene for the RFF. Going to be going to the open practice on Friday. Sheriff Seymour Pape, I hope you have your Raptor Freak shirt. And hopefully we can get you guys pictures with some of the Raptors or somebody. Maybe it'll be Scott. We're hoping it can be Scott. We'll have to see. All right, let's go to the Raptors Reddit reactions now. They're showing the footage of Ingram versus Oshai. And I'm telling you, it's intense. There's a lot of bumping. There's a lot of guarding, very close. And there's Brandon making the shot over Oshai. It's not easy. Oshai's a top-level defender with a lot of strength and quickness. But Brandon's showing that he can get by him, but he's still also getting stopped to an extent by Oshai Abaji. And that's an accomplishment. Brandon Ingram is a top-level scorer in the NBA. And Abaji trying to fight and guard him. This is iron sharpening iron right here. We see it in this clip right here. I love to see it. The giant look of a man ready for the season. Pirtle thumbs up. That's right. The Pirtle thumbs up is awesome. It's very, very cool. Let's see what people are saying about the Pirtle's thumbs up on Raptors Reddit. Some seemed enough championship time. That's right. That's right. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. This man's our entire center rotation by himself. Hope he stays healthy throughout the season. I don't know about that. We got Sandro Mamu. We got the young Prince in the pipeline. We've also got Jonathan Mobo as an underrated possible stand-in. And you know what? Scotty will play center if he has to. If he has to play center, he will. But you're right. We don't want to have Jakob go anywhere this season. That's right. That's right. That's right. The look of a giant man ready for the season. That's right. Let's go. Let's go, Jakob Poeltl. There's Grady's school bus shoes on the Raptors Reddit. If you didn't see the origami shoes, you can see them on Raptors Reddit. They're up right there. So, yeah, Raptors Reddit's a little weird. They're showing us Colin Murray Boyles shooting threes. And then it looks like RJ's working on a new free throw shot, guys. Like, it does look like RJ changed his free throw shot. He's missing, but he's doing something weird with his hand. Like, he's not turning it. It's kind of like what I was just saying on the stream yesterday. It's like RJ went out and he's shooting his free throws with a very straight hand. Like, because he has a natural turn on his right hand when he shoots free throws. It's very strange. And I feel like that's been screwing him up. So hopefully he'll get that mechanics worked on. You know, we've seen Jakob Poeltl change his free throw mechanics in the last couple of years under Darko, and he's actually gotten more successful at the free throw line. So hopefully this similar thing can happen with RJ Barrett, because his free throw shooting has not been good since he's been a Raptor. And this is probably one of the biggest areas he can improve and get better for the Raptors. But yeah, I like seeing Colin Murray Boyles shooting free three-pointers. Now, this guy's an idiot. This guy, Waterman123, is saying there seems to be less excitement surrounding the team this year, even on this subreddit. You're an idiot, man. You're an idiot. Why? How do you not know there's excitement? Maybe you don't have it. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of, like, we think we're going to be really good this year. This is what he's saying. Maybe it will change once the season starts and the team looks decent. But it was media day yesterday, and it was crickets. There was basically nothing besides one inflammatory and incorrect hot mic post and threesome comment. The actual media day thread had no one saying anything. You know why? Because they killed it for a while. And I don't know what you expect, dude. What do you want? A bunch of toxic mess? I think media day was very, very clear and concise and on point. All 5 of the interviews with the players and the interview with the coach were all on the same page, talking about how they're healthy and they come into this season to build off of what they built last year. And I don't understand what else you want. They said, yeah, we want to make the playoffs this year. We're coming correct. We're a team, all for one, one for all, win for all. And I don't know what you expect. Waterman123. He said, not much discussion about Bobby's conference either. And that actually had him saying that the team was absolutely not going to be the same at the end of the year. And they would be trying to not be a tax team, which is actual discussion material. This guy is an idiot. This guy's watching basketball for the wrong reasons. Look, you heard that from Bobby. That's not what I heard. This team was absolutely not going to be the same at the end of the year. He didn't say that. He never said that at one point. He never said that. You don't know how this team's going to be at the end of the year. If this team's successful, they will pay the money and they'll keep them. You don't, man, this guy's an idiot. I remember in years past, people would be posting lots of threads, and the media day thread itself would get good engagement. If you just search up media day, you'll see what I mean. Even last year had a lot more people discussing it. It was also coming off a bad year. It's surprising to me because even in years where the team has been bad, the Raptors usually have a lot more internet presence. I had to read about Media Day on Real GM this year, which I've done for years, but they are broadly an angrier bunch, and it's nice to have the balance. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Waterman. Obviously, you need to come see the Raptor Freak. And obviously, I think you're just an idiot, man. I think you're just an idiot. It may be that you're trying to gauge excitement by how many clicks or how many comments people are doing. Maybe people are really busy right now because the world's burning down and they're just trying to stay afloat financially in a crazy ass economy. I don't know, bro. I don't know what it is sociologically. I don't know why your parameters think that you think this is all down. I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised to see that there is huge enthusiasm. It's just that you're not letting it build up. First of all, I'm going to say this, buddy. Most of the real fans like us are in on it and already at that level of enthusiasm. A lot of the casuals who aren't paying attention and they've been trained by the media to not pay attention to the Raptors until they start winning, they'll get on board then. And that's exactly what it is. Either way, this guy's an idiot. Waterman 123. Two-finger salute for your dumbass bullshit. Seriously, you're a moron, man. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what is on there. Okay, there's an interview that just came out with Josh Lundberg with Darko today. So we'll have to see what he's saying to him there. That'll be good. Yeah, let's see. We got a birthday today, guys. Happy birthday to former Raptor Art Long. Art Long is 53 years old today. He's from Rochester, New York. He is 6'9" power forward. He ended up playing for the Raptors for just a brief little bit of time. He was on the Raptors for 7 games in 2002, 2003, and he averaged about 3 points per game. So happy birthday to former Raptor Art Long, who was really kind of in the league for a while already by the time he got the Raptors and at the end of his career. And he was more well-known for playing for the Sonics for a little while there. So it's Art Long's birthday. Very obscure Raptor. Very, very obscure. Barely played for our team. He played like 7 games for the Raptors. But he's still technically a Raptor. So we're going to say happy birthday to him today. That's right. Let's see what else y'all are saying in there. Let's see. Kaloy's laughing. Let's see. If the Yankees win tomorrow, yeah, we'll see him. Yeah, if they win tonight, we'll probably will see him. All right, let's do the classic card. We're getting on the home stretch here. All right, let's see. They haven't been that classic lately. They've been more recent players, but that's fine. We like that. Okay, yeah, we'll do this one. We'll do this one. This is a different kind of card than we usually have. I haven't seen this set very often. All right, who is this classic card of the day? This classic card of the day right here. In fact, this guy has a special part in Raptors history. And we'll have to talk about it in a sec. But who is this Raptor player? Not this Raptor player. This classic card of the day. Full name answer, please. On this card, obviously, it's a Miami Heat player. That's a pretty old Heat jersey. Pretty old Heat jersey. So to get this one. Now, he has a special part in the history of the Raptors. This guy, even though he never played for the Raptors. And we'll talk about it after the card's gotten. So, yeah, can you tell who that is, guys? He's wearing goggles, too. There's a goggles guy who played for Miami Heat. Smooth Brown Man, you should maybe know who this is. Grant Long. Slug Deezy knows. It's Grant Long. Of course, Grant Long is one of the players that named the JYD. Him and Rick Mahorn named Jerome Williams the Junkyard Dog. So that's his part in Raptors history. Grant Long nicknaming one of our beloved alumni, Jerome Williams, the Junkyard Dog. Yeah, Kareem, you're just after Slug Deezy on my screen for the classic card of the day. There's Grant Andrew Long right there. There you go. Udonis Haslem, maybe before Udonis Haslem, there was Grant Long. He's a very similar kind of player, actually. That's a good comparison, Fiercey, but that is not right. It is Grant Long. And it's Slug Deezy getting the points for today. I'm going to give you 200 points for this one, Slug. That is not an easy card. So we'll give Slug Deezy 200 for Grant Long. That's right. Not Grant Hill. Not Greg Grant, not Gary Grant, Grant Long. That's right. All right. Are we done? Y'all, I really like the stuff that I'm seeing from training camp in the first day. I see the camaraderie. I see the enthusiasm. I see the get after it already on the court. It's not like the first day of training camp is what Darko said. It's like they are already in it and going. Sometimes the first day is a slow starter. Nope. They hit the ground running this year in Calgary yesterday when they got to University of Calgary. And I'm excited about it. We're going to get more interviews with more players and more visuals from the camp. Raptors Republic, you're going to put out a day 2. Thank you. Hello and welcome. Get your interviews in and put them out before Raptors admin so we can see the unedited version. So we can see where the bullshit happens on the fringes there. That's right. Kareem saying the fact that the Raptors have 4 top 10 picks in the starting lineup should signal a sign of huge success. Yeah. Yeah, we got 4 in the starting lineup, and then we've got Collins a number 9 pick. He's going to be coming off the bench as a rookie. We've got more talent on this team in some ways from the draft than our 2019 championship team. That 2019 championship team didn't have any high draft picks. This one we've got a 2 and a 3 and a 4 as our main threesome, Doug Smith. That's right. We got a 2, a 3, and a 4 with Brandon as the second pick, RJ a third pick, and Scotty a fourth pick in the draft. So you got to love that. You got to love that. There's some premier talent, and Jakob is a top pick too. So, yeah, that's what we're talking about right there. Yeah, you thought it was Worthy? You thought it was Worthy. Yeah, he had the same sky goggles as James Worthy, Grant Long. They were around the same era. It was the Miami Heat, James Worthy. Yeah, Grant Long. That's right. That's right. Boom goes a dynamite. Let's go. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak stream today. We're going to have to check out and see what happens today in Calgary. And Mark Tavares, you're trying to figure out where they're staying. You're trying to scope out where they are in Calgary right now. I mean, if you are out and about around the city, you may see Raptors in touristy places. But it's more likely they're just going to be down around the university for today, tomorrow, and Friday in the open practice that you'll see them at. And then this weekend, I think they'll go to Banff on Saturday. They'll go to Banff on Saturday. And then, of course, they'll have a travel day on Sunday to get to Vancouver and set up and play the game against the Nuggets on Monday. So that's the schedule I can see from the outside that the Raptors are doing is they got training camp yesterday, today, Thursday, and Friday. And with a culmination to the open practice that Mark and Seymour are going to. And then on Saturday, they're going to go to Banff. And then they'll travel to Vancouver on Sunday, and they'll be playing the Nuggets and Jokic on Monday night. And woo-wee, we got Raptors action to watch then. That's right. Boom goes a dynamite. Calgary, Calgary, Calgary. All right then, Calgary, Calgary. Fan the flames. Let's go. Calgary surge. That's right. All right, Seymour. He's right. They will definitely be on Stephen Avenue. It's 8th Avenue Southwest, which is walks only, no cars till 7 p.m. If they're doing any kind of fun stuff late at night, I mean, I don't know. These guys are not really partiers, I don't think, to a degree. In some ways, it's not like the old NBA where NBA players were just kind of really living the lifestyle, maybe not putting that work. Now, this league is so competitive. We got to do 48 minutes of full court press. Man, people ain't going out like Eric Kareen and Doug Smith and drinking the face off sadly at the end of the bar. No, they ain't. These men have more self-respect for themselves to put their bodies through the poison of alcohol. So they got more time to actually work on their nutrition and the rest than to get out there. In some ways, it is like that. You know, these performers, like people that do music, that have concert tours, comedians, sports athletes, wrestlers, they go on the road a long time of the year. And it's crazy because they sometimes only see the arena where they work and the hotel room. They don't really get out and sightsee. I've heard so many wrestlers talk over the years about how they've gone to a lot of places, but they haven't really seen anywhere because they basically would go. They'd have to work out in the gym of the hotel. They'd have to go to the wrestling match, do the wrestling match, and then they're immediately coming back to the hotel and they're staying there for the night. So it's like the sightseeing and going to do stuff like Banff is special because a lot of times these traveling people that work for their job and they travel a lot, they're not getting time to sightsee. That's just the damn truth. So it's just how it is. That's right. They see their hotel and maybe they see the arena. Often that's the case. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Raptor Freak out. Let's go Raptors forever. Let's try and do something this year and shock the world and show people a little bit more how the Toronto Raptors are building something substantially good and we're on the right path and we're destined to win because we're doing it the right way. The organization's top notch. Darko is a fantastic coach. He's got everything under wraps. He knows exactly what's going on all the time. He's keeping everybody in the right places and the right relationships. And we are destined for success because we're building this the correct way. And if we're healthy and we do it this way, we're going to get success. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This isn't kind of like a thing we could have success. No, you do it right. the way the Raptors are doing it right now, you are going to find success. That's just the damn truth. Unless some screwy, nefarious, crazy ass shit happens, the Raptors are due to win. Let's just put it that way. That's right. Banff is like African Lion Safari. Stay in your car. Don't be a fool. Yeah, don't be a fool. Don't get out of the car at Banff. You don't be trying to pet the buffalo. Seriously, like that. Some people try to pet the buffalo. They get out of the car and they try and pet the buffalo. It's like, don't be a fool. Don't pet the buffalo. No, that's not a nice, cuddly teddy bear out there. No, you don't want to hug that bear, honey. Sorry, don't get in the car. Don't go try and hug that bear. No, 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 no. They're getting eaten by a bear. Let's go, Raptors, to Banff, and stay in your car, please. Stay in your car, Grady Dick. Don't get out of the car, man. Don't get out of the car, Grady. No.